Ha ha ha. Oops, 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 oops. Hey, Omar. Oof. Oh, there we go. Hey, Omar. Hey, man. What up? Yo, Omar, I do want to talk about One Piece. I have like something on my mind, so let's just wait for a few people to show up. Hey, Mark. Hey, Amaro. Okay. Wow, Amaro. Okay is always like one of the first three to be on here. But yo, Mark, it's been a while, Mark. It's been a while since you got here so early. Hey, hope you're having a good day, Vance. Hey, I was thinking about you today, Vance, because I was looking at one of the slime light novels. I was just like, oh, I wonder how Vance is. Good to have you, Vance. Any hoosers. I'm gonna go do fishing, guys. That's the plan for today, and we're gonna be talking about Hero Academia spoilers and all that. Hey, White Despair, how are you doing, man? Ah, Skelly. Yeah, you know, Skelly, I was kind of thinking that you were gonna be one of the first people to arrive because I saw a like before I even got started. It's like, is that Skell? But no, you weren't. So, ha ha ha. Hey, one near is Death Ray. Okay. Hey, Death Ray. Oh gosh, I'm still. I don't know why it is him that always is playing tricks with my head. Hey, Sam. Let's see. Let me think. Is there anything like worthwhile talking about just off the top of my head? Can't really think of anything here. And that's great, White. That's really great. I'm having a good day too. Um. Yeah, my internet died earlier today. Oh, okay, gotcha, man. And Sam's doing fine. Yeah, okay, that's great, Sam. It's always nice to hear that the majority of you are doing well as time goes on. And let's see. Yeah, I gotta do fishing. So I gotta find some fishing guys, obviously. Oh no. Well, here we go. Oh, Jason. Hey, Jason. Jason, I need to talk to you about something. I need to talk to you about Red Hood real quick. Wait, Vance. Buddy, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm legitimately sorry to hear that. That's like one of my worst nightmares personally. Like I legitimately have no plans of moving like my grandparents into any kind of nursing home just because it's different culture. Like for Cubans, it's very normal to have like a 90-year-old grandmother still living with you, like two generations of the family. So you could have, yeah, grandmother living with your mom and yourself. Like that's very normal. Um, that sucks. Is that gonna be your first time moving out on your own, Vance? Let's see. I'm Puerto Rican, but I completely forgot. Yeah, I'm not even going to lie. I understand it, but no talking. Omar, I get that. Like I have a similar problem with my Spanish. My Spanish is really deteriorated. Like it's Spanglish now. I can understand it more or less, but my Spanish is really, really bad. Oh, gotcha, Jason. The custodians. Um. Anyway, give me just a quick second just to internalize the whole Vance thing. Okay, woof. Very quickly, let me answer the other question here. True Star said, "Yo, Trip, started playing Genshin at AR 20. Any tips on what I should level first on my characters?" At AR 20, so artifacts, you kind of just want to have a few artifacts just to make the content a little bit easier. But you shouldn't be leveling artifacts because artifacts start getting like your artifacts start being good expenditures at AR 45 when you have access to the high level artifacts in the domains. At 20, you should be able to do your talents, though. So you should be leveling up your weapons and your talents, and you should only be leveling up any of the good meta weapons. So there's a few, like the 4-star weapons and the 3-star weapons occasionally are the things you should be considering leveling up, and then talents. In case you don't know, True Star, when we say talents, we're referring to this thing right here. So these talents are going to make or break you. So these are the things that you have to spend time leveling up. You should have a few at AR 20 that you should be able to level up. Otherwise, you got to go to the weapons. Ooh, she has the wrong weapon right now. So, like right now, if you don't have the 5-star weapons, like the good 4-star weapons are, well, Dragon's Bane. Dragon's Bane right now is solid. I have a few other ones here. Yeah, like white tassel's good for like your pole arms. You might have to do a little bit of research to figure out which weapons are still viable. But otherwise, it's gonna be at AR-20 talents and weapons, and then very minor artifact investment, and of course leveling up the character proper. Okay, let me read White Despair here. As is to be expected, I've seen many people theorizing it is actually All Might at the end and instead Toga. Yeah, I saw this too. Honestly, at this point, whenever anyone shows up, people bring up this theory. It happened with Medio, happened back ago. I saw some people theories that it wasn't Ochako giving this people actually Toga, and now we have it here. I don't even understand that. Like, All Might's walking away. Why, why, why would you assume that's Toga walking away as All Might? And then that says like, oh no, Toga went and sucked up All Might's blood. I swear, man. So there's this. Okay, I got that. It's so sad. My parents had me when they were so old that I never got much time with my grandparents. Oh, I can imagine that, Skill. The most tragic thing that happened to me today that was that I forgot my laboratory shoes, and without them they wouldn't let me into the building. Huh. Alright, and my grandparents had my parents when they were in their late 30s and mid 40s. Is that normal for your culture, Skelly, though? It's weird, because for like Cubans, they have kids very young. Oh, Jason said weak My Hero Academia chapter this week. You know, Jason, it's actually pretty interesting because other people were mentioning, like yesterday, I think it was Z Killer that also was feeling kind of underwhelmed. My criticism, Jason, because you weren't here yesterday, but my criticism for the chapter pretty much like, we talked a little bit about the fact that Horikoshi is regurgitating like some of the stuff that Ochako said, and we all collectively as a stream came to the conclusion that, yeah, you know, reading comprehension is so low that maybe he does need to beat this into the ground. But I personally like the old man's speech more than Ochako's, just because I think it was a little bit, it covered more things in a shorter amount of time. Otherwise, it's a setup chapter. But yeah, Jason, what I wanted to talk to you about, and let me just have a moment here, and I will get back to Vance in a second. So Jason, I was looking at the Shonen Jump table of contents yesterday, and Red Hood has dipped into the bottom 2 pretty much. So this is actually pretty weird. One of the other new series as well is slightly above Red Hood. So this is now like pretty much observation period. Like sometimes series do dip into the bottom 3. But I just wanted to let you know because we talk about the Red Hood theory crafting of whether or not it's going to survive. It being in bottom 3 is not a good sign right now. But like last week it had 23 pages. So it's kind of all over the place in terms of what exactly is going on here with Red Hood. So pretty much, Jason, like the next 3 weeks, if we look at Red Hood and it's still in bottom 3, it's probably going to get canceled. At 3 weeks, though, you can still streak for 3 weeks and still survive. But this is a really weird sign. And the interesting thing is that Neru, the one about martial arts, is doing better in terms of the table of contents. So this is going to be interesting, but Candy Flurry is going to be the next one to die for sure. It's like 100% guaranteed. We just got to get that new series, and Candy Flurry's dead, which is unfortunate. But we'll have to see what exactly is going on with Red Hood. Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you. Vance said that they have a lifeline, Cherokee blood, enough to be on the rolls and get the benefits. Okay. And a Cherokee will build me a house with a 30-year mortgage that I pay off monthly. After it's paid, they deed the land and house to me. Oh, but I have to see if I qualify for it first. Oh, for characters, your main DPS should be well-rounded with their talents focusing on their ultimate basic attacks mostly, unless the main ability is really good, like Fischl's Bird. Ah, yes. Also listen to Sarge, because Sarge has good... he knows the meta a little bit better. Oh, okay, and Skelly says it's not. Okay, gotcha, Skell. And yeah, Miguel, I'm alright. Trip was having great first to some Ochako lover saying she was useful. Okay, did you see the Warner Brothers made Shaggy canon? It was the intro of the latest Mortal Kombat animated movie. Wow, I know, that's interesting. In India still, it's pretty normal to have your kids. Oh, okay. Oh. Well, there we go. Wow, okay, yeah, thanks for letting me know that, Skell. Because at that point, just with the pattern that was being created, I thought it was that way, but okay, that's worth knowing.
With the wind.
I want to learn how to fish. White Despair said Stain was seen near All Might, so obviously he and Toga are working together, and Toga is attempting to infiltrate UA. Me. Then why is she walking away from UA? Right? As for sub DPS, you should focus on their main abilities and ultimate since you don't use them for light attacks, and for healers, focus on anything that revolves around their healing. Red Hood is so good. I hope it stays. We'll have to see. At least they're not having kids at like 15 to 18 years old. Yeah, that's my grandparents, pretty much. She said Ochak was beautiful and useful and other stuff. And I'm like, okay. You're having a good time, Omar. And then Jason said, did you hear that My Hero Academia, My Hero Academia Toga episode was very well received in Japan? No, I didn't. And you're the one that still follows this a bit more than I do, Jason. I'm assuming it's through that. Were you looking at ratings? Where exactly were you? Was it that rating data that you usually use? And hey, Viz, managed to get my hands on a copy of Volume 29. Honestly, one of the things I was looking forward to most was the page on Gigantomachia and his 7 quirks. Nice. Have you tried Free For All Battle Event yet? Yeah, Viz, I have. Toga must be filled with disease from drinking strange blood. I don't know, man. She might have some kind of protections, right? Like that's usually how that goes. Now let's see. Viz, how do I get the fishing system going? Do you know? Because Kara told me that I had to go to the Adventurers Guild. And this is the Adventure Guild that I know of now. Do I have to go... It's in Mondstadt. Viz, I'm going to assume that you know. My grandparents, Cuban, had my dad in their late 20s. Ah, nice. Yeah, Sarge, nice. Cuban pride. I just wish Ochako actually got more focus in general. Yeah, well, we'll have to see, Will. It's a side quest. Okay, gotcha. Go to Catherine. Alright. Thanks, man. Oh, yeah, okay. Thanks, man. Thanks. Okay, fishing association. Alright. I just want to spend the time fishing, and just that way I can just chat with you guys and fish. It's gonna be the ultimate islander lifestyle. Chatting and fishing. You know, ever since I got screwed over by my boss back on the island, when he just left us all to go on a fishing trip just in the middle of the work week, I told myself, yeah, you know, that's power. That is real power. I want to have that kind of power. And you know what? I went to a landlocked area, so I'm never going to have that kind of power. But at least I can do that in video games. I know, it's a sad life. But point is, I was inspired by the right guy at the right time. What a sleazeball. Okay, so let's see. Nantuck. Alright. Alright. Let's see. Fish, fish, fish. A lot of things about fish. Still a ton of things about fish. 100% of things about fish. Flip side, I thought, isn't this a great opportunity? Let's see. Fishing is a lot of fun. I'm good at fishing, I think. Oh, okay. Nice. Neat, neat, neat. Okay, let me read this stuff. Trip, how you feel about Yamato is actually a girl? So she can be in my top 3, finally, top 3 girls. How you feel about Yamato? Oh yeah, Yamato's cool, man. I don't really mind Yamato. I don't know if Yamato's gonna be in the Straw Hat crew though, because like I don't know if you guys know this, but the Straw Hats, when it comes to the Devil Fruit users, they follow a number pattern. Like Luffy's 5-6, Brook I think is 3-4. Like we're missing 2 and 9. So I don't know if Yamato's Devil Fruit follows the pattern to fit in for 2 and 9. So I don't know what Oda's gonna do about that pattern. Is it bad I ship Deku and Animal Girl more now? No. Like, this girl came in like a storm. When you have Koda in there saying like, I only moved because that girl was talking about what you were doing, and it's like, wait. Ochako just gave the speech of a lifetime, and what moved Kota was MVP girl pretty much saying that Izuku was still out there working. That's what finally motivated him. It wasn't Ochako. It was MVP girl. It's like, holy crap. How much do you have to take away from Ochako to make this other? I mean, mind you, I don't mind. Like, this girl came in like a storm. If she's Toga, I'm gonna be very sad. But yo, like that girl came in like it's just hilarious. It's hilarious. There are so many slights against Ochako that it's really funny. I don't understand how this guy can disrespect Ochako so much, like on the sly. It's not like the way he disrespects Dobby, because the way he disrespects Dobby is really hilarious. And Dobby has it coming because he's a joke. But yeah, man, it's hilarious. It's funny. It's legitimately funny. It's weird little things. I don't know why he hates her so much. Anyway, she's being used more than I thought, and seeing them together reminds me of a fairy tale romance. Her interactions with her are better than Ochako. Yeah, I mean, like, this girl is hugging her. Like, this girl is doing more than Ochako has done in the entire year. Toga's also yanded that they are profitable. Also nice to finally have a proper translated version of Majestic's character page. I can't help but laugh when I see that his favorite thing is women. He looks like that kind of guy, too. Trip, when will you do a podcast? Well, Omar, back in the day, we did a podcast with me in the Discord groups, like pretty much Skelly and TGC. I don't know, man. It's just like you get busier as time goes on, and things get more difficult and that kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe we can do it every now and again. The Toga episode was the 4th most watched anime of the week and the most watched season 5 episode. Jason, I lost the website. Can you give me the website again? I'm gonna write it down this time for sure, so I don't lose it. I'm going to stick it on my computer because I need to get into the habit of looking at this. Fairy Tail fans are stupid, angry. Mashima doesn't post Fairy Tail art on Twitter, but Eden Zero is his main series. Well, Death Ray, you have to consider Fairy Tail is still going on. Like, Fairy Tail 100 Year War is still happening. Like, the Fairy Tail fandom has not died because they're still getting content. Fishing is hard, but it's not something you can entirely look away from. Gotcha, Viz. Also, I finally caught up to Black Clover, but I need to read the manga. Fox Girl is like 10 feet tall. Yamato being a girl was super obvious. Wait, what are we talking about? We all know that Yamato's a girl, right? Like, she has side... Well, okay. Yamato has side boob. But we all know that Yamato has their shenanigans about wanting to be Odin. And I'm going to call it shenanigans because this isn't a simple issue of... this isn't a simple issue. This is an issue of someone legitimately thinking that they're Odin. Like, there's distinctions between Yamato and characters like Yamato. Mind you, she's a common citizen, not a hero. That's fair. I'll be honest, seeing Yamato with the color of Supreme King is giving me the same feeling as the Super Saiyan bargain sale. Well, Sarge, we kind of know the gimmick, right? The idea was that the color of Conqueror is just everywhere in New World, because that's where all the Conquerors just end up. It's just an issue of the New World has a concentration of them. I mean, from the time that we saw Rayleigh with Conqueror's Hockey, it was like pretty much, yeah, this is probably everyone that's notable has it. Fishing is a bit too slow for me. Trip, he still likes her because she's not dead yet. Yamato just say that she, him, because I'm wanting to be Odin, I guess. Yeah, like for this one, I'm gonna try just to refer to them as Yamato at all times. It's just because like it's a little bit concerning. I don't like this is going on into like the levels of delusion, which is I find that a little bit weirder because like that's like I don't know. I don't want to cross the I don't even want to talk about it. I just want to refer to Yamato as Yamato just because like I can't in any kind of serious capacity take someone seriously when they're saying that they're Momonosuke's father. That's insane. I can't. I legitimately just can't. That's like Toga, except a little bit healthier. But it's still kind of, You guys get what I mean? Like, that's the thing that really throws me off with Yamato. I can't take them seriously. I know they would. I know they would. But I don't know how else would you, like, no, you have to be able to call that one out. Like, Yamato legitimately has some kind of problem here when it comes to saying that they're flat out Odin. You get what I'm saying? You can't tell a young boy that you're his father because you want to be Odin. That's like a One Piece level gag. Mind you. I'll respect obviously I'll respect whatever Yamato wants to do, but I can't shy away from the fact that Yamato still has some weird personality traits. I mean, like weird personality traits make sense in One Piece though, right? It's like everyone has their weird gimmicks. It's just that Yamatos are a little bit insensitive. Let's see. I'm waiting for Horikoshi to give Animal Girl a name. Any guesses how old she is? Well, it'd be nice if she's 19. That's like within that'd be okay. When Hawk said that they made progress, is because maybe he was thinking of the results. Yeah, Izuku went through a shitty phase, but that ultimately led to a situation where Ochako stood up for him. And the citizens as well. And that wouldn't have happened if everything went well from the beginning. Nobody would have learned any lesson. I mean, Miguel, like, when it comes back down to it, you're looking at it from the perspective of the glass is half full. Like, you're looking at it from the optimistic perspective. But this all works, like, this is all a very precarious situation. You know, if we want to play the what ifs, like, anything could have gone wrong with Izuku at any earlier point, and that would have screwed up Izuku. Like, we're very thankful that we got the best solution out of a very shitty problem, but we shouldn't be using that as a justification for the very questionable behavior all the way up. That said, I understand what you're saying. But again, this is like looking on the bright side of things. Hey Trip, there's something that I found extremely weird about chapter 325. I want to hear your opinion. It's in regards to the second warp quirk they said Mirko dealt with. Based on the spoiler, it seems like the other is a bad translation of saying that John Chan, the Noma with a different, was killed. Most of his drawings are to promote the anime fans made holiday for certain characters, and he sometimes drops pictures on the day. Gray didn't get one this year, and now they're being disrespectful. Okay. People are on Twitter already chanting that ass. That based on the info, All For One should have a copy of the Black Goo warping quirk, and the heroes are fully aware. Yet they're acting like warping isn't a threat. Okay, so this is actually something I want to talk to you about, because like I was confused. I was confused about the copy of Kurogiri's quirk, because it's like we never saw Kurogiri's quirk in action against Mirko. So thank you for pointing that out. I wonder if it is a bad translation. I guess we'll have to wait to what Viz says, but let's I'll keep reading your comment here. Let's see if we can catch another Paimon. We are back. OP be back. I hope I don't miss your One Piece talk. Oh, no worries, man. Okay, since Cody and John Chan is dead, initially I thought that perhaps the author simply forgot that All For One has the warping quirk, but that would be really weird considering. Okay, so I just gotta wait for White Despair to write a few more things. I'm also glad that Izuku didn't become more like Batman personality. When Batman felt that he was happy and not in much pain anymore about his parents' death, he literally broke down. Let's see. Alright, here we go, fishing. Okay. Here we go. I'm so excited to fish. I hope this is fun. Sure. Okay. Maybe not like that. Let's try again. So I want to catch those things. Okay. One second, guys. I did not read the tutorial. I'm not sure if you could notice, but I did not read it at all. Oh, I got it. I figured it out. Didn't have to read the tutorial. Woo! Did it. Alright, cool. I'm a master fisherman. Who would have thought? Who would have thought I'd get here? I'm usually so dumb about these things. But not today. This is good. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Ornamental fish. Looks like you got it ready. Recently, there's been many ornamental fish near Stormbearer Mountains. Okay. Let's go over and check it out. All right, cool. Okay. And yeah, Ty, let's see. Graves to ask for forgiveness. Then White Despair said that ideally, every time it's been used, a character comments about how it's the same thing that happened in Camino. When Dobby was warped after Endeavor fought the High, Mirko stated that this was the same thing that happened in Camino. When the villains were warped during My Villain Academia, commented it was the same thing that happened in Camino. Since the author always mentions that it's the same quirk All For One used back in Camino, I find it highly unlikely that he would suddenly forget that All For One had that quirk. What are your thoughts on this? I like that quirk. I just find it weird, man. I find it really weird. Like first off, I guess a bad translation of Kurogiri's of that being Kurogiri's quirk because it doesn't make sense. But the sludge quirk, All For One said the sludge quirk, like it's a weird quirk because he says that the quirk only allows him to teleport people to him and away from him, and it's like, how is that different from Kurogiri's quirk? What does away from you even mean in this situation? So I am not sure what's going on here. It's a weird quirk, man, and I've always thought that quirk's weird because I think it's just saying that it's different from Kurogiri's coordinate based warping. It's like, what does away from even mean in this context? So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on here. I do find it strange that they are thinking because they took out Anomu that quirk is suddenly not active anymore. I don't know. Legitimately, man, I don't know. But I've always had misgivings about that particular quirk, just because it seems nonsensical to me the way that they first described it, and I think the explanation for that quirk happened during Camino. If someone knows the page that it happened on, let me know. But yeah, let's see. I wish it was more like Minecraft fishing. The black goo quirk seems to be a recall teleport. It's weird. When they showed us Tartarus, they showed us Kurogiri. So what is happening? Did Hody make a mistake? Or did he change his mind after that fact? Or was it a bad fake out? Wait, did they show us Kurogiri? And gotcha, Viz. Did they show us Kurogiri? Because at the time I thought that was weird, but I was like, I'm not sure if I'm remembering this right, but did they actually show us the guy at Tartarus? Let me look through my files. No, Omar, you didn't miss anything. Anyway, guys, like, for the One Piece fans, I do wonder, what are you guys thinking is going to be the next crew member? Let's see. I'm trying to find my files here. Because now this is just getting ridiculous. Huh? Yeah, no, there he is, chapter 297. Is it a bad translation again? I guess we'll have to wait for the final Viz translation. This is strange. This is very strange. Usually the Tumblr blog is a pretty good... Well, no, it doesn't matter. It does, like, the Tumblr blog is probably not incorrect, because the Tumblr blog flat out said that Kurogiri, well, he's flat out at Central Hospital. So All For One wouldn't have left Kurogiri there for Central Hospital to pick them up. Quick. Let's see. Let me just go through your comments real quick. I just find it really weird. Based on how the Doctor used at the beginning of My Villain, maybe he means he can only return them to where they were before they being warped to him. So does that mean when... Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I getcha. I getcha. Now that makes more sense, Viz. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, I gotcha. Because when they teleported them away, that's when they used Kurogiri. I guess now the next question is, how exactly does the "let me bring you to me" aspect of it work? Does he have to tap someone, and after that they are legal to be brought to him? Because that's still kind of dangerous. Batman actually believes that if he's feeling happy that his parents would disapprove and want him to fully dedicate his it's because of this mindset that he pushes all his loved ones. Oh, I'm assuming that's what we're about to say, Ty. Away while he's alone in Batman Beyond. Glad that could got out of that mindset. Agreed. We did get, yes. Kurogiri seems to have been an intentional misdirection by the author. The Walls and Central Hospital are both the same block design. Thus it appeared like Kurogiri was at Tartarus with the other villains when in reality this was not the case. Okay, and then Seth's another translator. Okay, so he's been sickly moved to see if they can't recover. Good. For the warp quirk thing, look at 262 page 11 where it looks like Mirko arm getting sucked into a hole. Okay, 262 page 11. Let's see. Thank you, Chris. (262) page 11. I just gotta find 262. Oh. Wait, but is it where the where Robot Nomu is twisting his hand? Or is that what you're talking about? Chris, is that the one that you're talking about? The Kurogiri, let's see. He's appeared like Kurogiri was at Tartarus with the other. Okay, I got that. No, we haven't. You haven't missed anything, Omar. He mentioned that he can only teleport people to locations he's familiar with and in short distance. Maybe that's the one difference with Kurogiri's really. Kurogiri's, which part are you looking at? I'm not too sure, Seth. I'm not sure when that comment came. Kurogiri is probably in a similar room setup to his Tartarus. Do you know Japanese? No, I don't, Mega. That image from Tonight is the reason why some people are confused with All For One didn't take Kurogiri with him, because that image makes it seem like he was in Tartarus. Now I'm hoping that All Might doesn't do anything stupid. He's really in need of escort of some kind. The Goo Quirk seems to be planting seeds to allow teleportation. I just find it really weird that heroes are apparently saying that they don't have to worry about teleportation quirks because 2 of the 3 users are dealt with. If they didn't know that All For One had that quirk, then it would make sense, but the heroes know that All For One has that quirk, so I don't understand why they think they're safe. Oh, well, Deathray, give it a go, I guess. Didn't the work also teleport them to Deka City for the Liberation Army fight? Yeah, they did. Based on the spoilers in 4chan, the other warp quirk they mentioned in the chapter is the one that belongs to John Chan. The image we see is of John being crushed by the door. Okay. Okay. Because, like, the one I'm seeing in 262 is when, like, the spot where her arm's being sucked in, that's a different quirk. Because the robot Nomu is rotating his hand, and he's ultimately twisting, like, the fabric of reality there. That isn't a warp quirk. That looks like a gravitational quirk. And if it's John Chan, then we only ever saw the sludge. But going back to the Kurogiri issue, Kurogiri is in that room. That's a really unfair misdirect. That's really like, what if there, okay, if that is correct when it comes to Kurogiri, that he actually got moved ahead of time secretly, that's a really unfair misdirect. That's pretty shitty. That's not cool. When you're doing those kind of cheap misdirects, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Because now, like, no, that's not cool. If that's correct, I don't think that's very cool. I think that's very cheap. I don't think you should be doing that. I think that's really bad writing. I think that's, yeah. I think that's, I don't think it's cool. I don't think this is good writing. If that truly is the case, I don't think that's respectable in any which way. That's very unfair. And White Despair, yeah, man, I'm confused. I'm getting more confused now that you guys are bringing this up too, man. Like, we have to look at what Viz is gonna say at the end of the day. Koda's face when saying I'm here is so heartwarming and sad. It's just so good. I agree. Yeah, what just happened to Mirko was a different quirk. Oh, but and gotcha, Chris. Yeah, man. It looks. I wonder if these are legitimately mistakes. I wonder if the author will come out and say it on Twitter again, like he did when Ray had the mistakes. The thing is, I don't like having to think. I don't like having to say like, oh, hey, there might actually be a mistake here. But the author has such a precedence of making mistakes now. Like with all the stuff he had to, I mean, like the volume has the correction with Banjo and what exactly he was trying to say when he was talking about the quirks. Like we have that correction. You know, we have the correction with the Ray timeline. We have the corrections with Skeptic being forgotten and then having to be slot back in. It's just whenever you see like these weird kind of things, like realistically, you could be just thinking like, maybe this is a mistake actually, because the author has a history of it, which is a little bit unfortunate. But again, we'll just have to wait. At least the good thing is that they are pretty open when they do make these mistakes. Black glue teleport isn't used the same as Kurogiri's. Agreed. Image you see of John being crushed to death, so I assume that's the quirk they're referring to. Yeah, when I looked at it, it's like, it must be one of the small Nomu, but I honestly can't remember him using Kurogiri's quirk. So, good to know that you guys couldn't either. The thing is, we know that John's quirk is this. We know that that quirk is the same one that All for One uses, because we've seen how that quirk works. Like black sludge, for whatever reason, comes out of a person's body, and then they get teleported. Which honestly, it really is a weird quirk if you think about it. Like that's probably one of the more creative teleportation quirks I've ever seen. Like I don't fully understand why the vomiting has to happen, but it looks evil. That's for sure. Yeah, it's weird. It's really strange.
Crushed. Yeah. Illusion shattered. Torn to oblivion.
Any hoosers. Yeah, guys, thanks for pointing out all these little spots that are just kind of weird. I also saw the Jujutsu Kai spoilers, and I'm pretty excited for them, all honesty. Oh, I saw a little bit of that, Jason. You said it's a bad fake out. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Maybe it's just that they're assuming that that's a weird copy of the quirk. Yeah, I already got that, but I agree. No, wait, there was a small Nomu that could work but got killed by Mirko in chapter 260, page 13. Yeah, John Chan, right? Like that's the one we're all kind of revolving around. But John Chan, we know how John Chan works because we've seen him many times when the Garaki uses him. And whenever he uses them, it's pretty much what we expect. It's the black sludge quirk that All for One has. So it goes back to White Despair's concerns of like, why are they being like this? But thank you. Who gave us that one? That was, I think. Yeah, there we go, Chris. It was Chris. I'm gonna go look at 260 as well here, just to remind myself fully. Oh, also, I don't know if you guys keep up with like podcasting space, but I found it really funny because like Joe Rogan got COVID-19, and I think like Joe Rogan hasn't gotten the vaccination, and he went on Instagram and was just like, "Oh, yo, bro, I had like all these different drugs that normies could never hope to afford, and I'm totally fine. And it's like, all right, this is pretty funny. This is gonna make for a really funny month. Like this month is gonna be hilarious when it comes to the news cycle. But yeah, that's like the one bit of news I thought was interesting this past month. Yeah, Johnny was the warper. But we know how Johnny works. He does that weird, he does the sludge. Yeah. I think this is weird. Let's see. Jason said bad fake out because that panel clearly implies Kurogiri was in Tartarus and now Central Hospital is working their magic, but he's dead. Will Central bring him back to life? Oh, 100%. They're bringing him back to life. The black sludge coming from the individual guarantees only X person is warped. What are the Jujukai spoilers? Also, I didn't bookmark the website. Ah, no worries, Jason. Let me just... I think Jujukai spoilers is pretty much everything goes the way that that Itadori needed them to go. That's pretty much how that's pretty much the spoilers. Everything works out. So let me just load them up. Oh Jesus, Hikari looks pretty badass. I'm just looking at one of the images of him. He's pretty hardcore. Okay, so the spoilers for Jujukai were pretty much Fushiguro, pretty much, or Megumi. He just kind of bows down to Kirara to get their help. Itadori tells Panda and Fushiguro right away to not interfere. Hikari punches Itadori in the face. Blah blah blah. Hikari eventually decides to listen as long as Itadori stays standing. Let's see. It ultimately ends down with... Hikari agreeing to go with Itadori and also making a note about his personality, which he's a nice guy. Yeah. Overall, works out for everyone. I was trying to not give away too many spoilers for that one. Let's see, without having to go through extra steps to get them to go through the portal. You know what else is weird? Like, for whatever reason, it was able to affect Bakugo. Which is weird, right? And, like, if you think about it, if it can affect Bakugo like nothing, it kind of means it should be able to affect everyone, right? Like, does All For One just need to look at a person? Because then maybe Izuku can just be pulled to All For One. Like, you guys remember that back in Kamino when Bakugo got pulled? It's weird. It's a really powerful quirk, all things considered. At the very least, Bakugo should still be under its effects. I saw someone earlier today claim that an attack on Yue is about to happen, and All For One will absolutely destroy it because, I quote, Yue even looks like All For One. What? Well, Seth, actually. 1 second, Jason. Let me reread it. But Seth, how do you feel about the civilian pretty much saying the same things that Ochako said, but better? Like, how do you feel about the reiteration of the message? Because you weren't here yesterday, Seth, so I want to get your opinion on that. As for Yue, like, obviously Yue's going to get attacked, because everyone's building it up that it's going to get attacked, obviously. But I don't think Yue's going to fall, man. I think, like, actually Yue's going to get a victory on this one. I think it's going to be a rough battle, but I think they're going to come up with more of a victory than not. Also need a page or two on Miss Joke visiting Aizawa in the hospital. That'd be nice. Let me see for Hikari's thing. I think they are... I think they're kind of hiding what Hikari's curse technique does. Because Yuji is saying that his cursed energy hits him like a baseball bat made of nail files. And then Hikari makes the comment that his cursed energy is rougher than most. But yeah, I think they're kind of hiding the technique that he actually uses, and they're just going on his cursed energy, like the raw cursed energy. Let's see. Juju Kai, this arc was super lame. It's a weird one, Speed. It was a weird one. Ty says, yeah, the Joe Rogan news was hilarious. I was like really just showing what us normal people can't do in your situation. He did say he's an idiot about the COVID news, so I mean that's how he gets away with everything, though. He just says he's an idiot and just calls it there. But yeah, no, I just like I find it funny because people are gonna react because he took ivermectin, and you know right now people are like they're talking down the drug because they keep calling it horse dewormer, but it's like, yo, this thing has been used for years and it's still being used in India and Africa, I believe. Like, you know how it is. There's been a weird media spin on these kind of things nowadays. Gotta be very careful talking about it, otherwise you might get canceled. I have a theory that the only reason that we've seen State and Stoga more because they are with each other. Yeah, I don't know about that. Also, alarmingly, All Might doesn't. I don't think Toga and Stain are together. Also, alarmingly, All Might doesn't seem to be heading to UA for some reason. Seth, for me, my theory on that one, I think All Might just feels immense shame. I think what we're seeing with All Might right now is pretty much the exact same thing that he did with Night Eye. Yeah, but it's pretty much All Might's communication problems at full force. One other reason I was excited to get 29 was so I could look through Garaki's dialogue to see one of the characters to analyze and try to determine if All For One really is planning to take over Shigaraki. Agreed. I want to know if Toga is staying relative. I don't know, man. Maybe like distant relative. Does All For One just need to look at someone? Me. Well, Trip, that's going to be difficult for him to do without eyes. Oh, you're right. Damn it. Damn it. Does he need to hear someone then? Or can he look at them through his infrared whatever power he has? Yeah, that's what's stopping All For One from just pulling it. Really shows how incompetent he is. I need more missed joke, maybe in a more serious note. Did you see the fan transit note about some people called the Night Smugglers from Volume 32 sketches? I tried to take a closer look at the sketches, but I couldn't find one about them. We only have a few of them left to be addressed in the actual story, like some PLF members and a foreign hero, so I'm excited about what's going to happen next. Yeah, I saw a few notes about that, but I don't know what to make of it because I haven't seen the Volume 32 sketches. Why instantly warp Izuku to yourself and your underlings when you can instead send your underlings out one at a time to him? I like it. It's a realistic sort of sloppy at Uraraka's dialogue. At the same time, she's still a hero in training, so she can't be condescending to the masses. She gets through to the civilians about the true nature of heroes being people, not idols, and then the civilians take that rhetoric this next step further. To me, it's artful and appropriate. Okay, nice, Steph. Nice. Chip, you said you wanted to talk about One Piece, and when there was more people, you still talking, or maybe I missed it. I keep saying sorry I missed it. I just usually miss all the good stuff. Well, Omar, I asked if people had any thoughts about the next Straw Hats, but we haven't really got any discussion about it. So that's why I stopped. If you have any thoughts about the next Straw Hat, Omar, let me know. Because now you're caught up, so we can talk about it. And as for, like, I guess, like, right now with One Piece, with the spoilers, the interesting thing is about Zoro's heritage. As far as I'm concerned, like, Zoro's family probably, or, like, maybe the Daimyo sent off his wife with Zoro, and then she dies during the trip to East Blue. And then Zoro is just an orphan hanging around that village. But, like, that's the most interesting thing about the spoilers right now. So, Seth ultimately has a very kind interpretation of what's going on here. Like, you know, Seth goes at it from the realistic approach. But, like, for me, like, Seth, just to let you know, my opinion was based on, it's kind of weird that we have to reiterate this again. Just because, like, it's the same message in different wording. Which, you know, actually, like, we're talking about this is how it works in real life. Like, yeah, like, the reason that for me, when I see the message happening, I see it more happening because the author doesn't feel confident with what he said so far. Because at the end of the day, like, if you're the problem here is that Hero Academia lives in an environment where it's always being rushed. So it's really silly. It's strange, not silly. It's strange to have this part slowed down so much. Like, so because of the dichotomy between Hero Academia's regular pace and the current pacing, it just feels like the author didn't feel confident that the message was coming through. And he had to spend so much time doing it. And then, like, it's just some things just make me feel a little bit bad about Ochako. But that's pretty much my interpretation of it. Seth goes on to say the civilians are still people worth saving, basically. You can't be a hero, write a hero story, and show the masses that's only stupid and reactionary. No, I really agree. I really agree with that. From my perspective, though, he hasn't shown that the civilians are stupid and reactionary. Well, no, they still are reactionary because they're reacting to this. They're 100% reacting to the last thing that we saw, and like ultimately, this is like a very small step, but like this has been happening since the very beginning. When when you had Can't You See Kid, when you had Can't You See Kid coming in, he made a note about Endeavor being the one going out there risking everything for them, and then you see like the Endeavor pickup train. Like I agree, you can't you can't show the masses as only stupid and reactionary, but like the issue here is just the decisions to how much screen time they got. And then Seth said it's really good that the pacing has slowed down, and I agree with that. But the note is that before this, the pacing wasn't like that. Like that's what makes this a little bit more jarring for me. And like the other thing for me, Steph, is like when you go back to Can't You See Kid moment, the reason I don't need this like that fleshed out is because at the end of the day, like this is probably gonna have to be, well, it's probably not gonna be said again for the series, but it's gonna have to be said again in the context of the world, because the only people that actually made a change right now are the people in UA. Like no lessons have really been learned here on a societal level, and so we're probably gonna need a bigger societal message at some later point. But overall, I agree with like the inner world context of what you're saying. So thank you for sharing. Let's see. Yeah, wait, I think that's one. All for One could obviously be doing much more damage in the series. Should I ascend to world level 4 with level 60 characters, or should I wait a couple to level a couple characters to level 70 first? To world level 4. Oh yeah, no man, just go to world level 4. Just do it. Not a big deal. You'll probably be fine. Local animal feed shops have reported that horse not human have sold out. Problem, dumb people buy and use a horse one. Yes, legitimately, this is the worst thing about it. I wish people weren't that dumb, because ivermectin works like in a controlled environment. Like, well, I say works, but I mean is suitable for humans in controlled doses. Don't buy the one for the horse. Like, holy crap. This really, like, let's see. White Despair, maybe only when he's already tired he might think of warping Deku towards it, because if he had done that with Deku at full health, he could probably lose. Oh no, man. It would be funny if it's just Ochako was about to confess Izuku, unknown girlfriend, makes herself known. Momo staying in Wano instead of being a cabin boy. I hope so. I feel like the next Straw Hat will be Momo. He'll probably see Bonnie to revert his age. Oh, I hope it's not Momo. That would be so lame. Has All for One touched Izuku directly ever? The Vestige and Izuku have touched before. I don't remember how exactly it went. Was it Shigaraki touching Izuku's face, or was it Izuku touching Shigaraki's face? I don't remember which one it was exactly. We have 2 swordsmen, so I don't know. I don't think Momo will stay. Also, he's going to be the Shogun or whatever. I'm thinking maybe the Mud Guy, because, I don't know, he feels like an off-brand Straw Hat like Vivian Duck. Mud Guy? You mean Caribou? No, man. No way. Caribou's a murderer, man. No way. I think having the civilians also using rhetoric works well, so other aspects that the heroes really shouldn't use can be addressed. I think it'd be really weird if Ochako was the one to call the civilians spectators. I think that would come off as a bit condescending coming from a hero. However, works coming from a civilian who is including themselves in that group of spectators. I agree with that. I mean, like, I think that's why ultimately I think he comes off a little bit better than Ochako. Like, Ochako, again, is the product of a lot of really careful work. Like I described it yesterday, Ochako's speech is pretty much high precision machinery, because the author knows all the things that he has to avoid, all the things that he has to address. But like for me, when it comes down to just the simplicity of the message, like the man is able to pull it off, and he hits higher notes for me personally. But like we said yesterday, right, the fact that we have to go through these extended talks is worthy of something. All things considered, though, like I said, the issue here is Ochako has a lot more stuff that has to get covered with the way she speaks, and then this guy is just, he hits different. I like him a little bit more. I hope Zoro isn't related, because I think Random Guy wants to be the world's best is better than Random Guy wants to be with family that were probably the best too. Nah, like I don't see the problem. Like they probably weren't the best swordsmen. Like I don't really see the problem with it. And like it's not as if your sword skill is hereditary. Actually, I guess some people would say like some people have aptitude for weapons. I like how just got a random YouTube reply from a chapter 239 review from 2 years ago, me saying that I want an all-out war with the League and the Liberation Front, and the two classes and heroes. I guess I'm psychic. Nice. She could actually grab his nose or something. Ah, great. I guess I want Yamato or Carrot to be the next Straw Hats. See, okay, so going back to Yamato, I'm not sure about I'm not sure about Yamato being in. But I hope she is, because I hope Yamato is, because I really like Yamato. Let's see. Seth says, yeah, that's part of the conversation I appreciated. They, I'm sure, immediately assumed Ochako was being whiny condescending, suggesting civilians got their hands dirty too. That was a pretty like low point for that guy though. Like that was pretty ridiculous. Like that's when you can see that the civilians aren't really applying a lot of thought. Ochako had to be a good advocate and not bully civilians to get her way. Should we consider All for One and All for One's vestiges as two separate entities because they sometimes contradict each other? I think that's what we're going on right now. Like White Despair is probably going on that thing as well. Sometimes you need someone else to tell others what you're doing because if you're doing it yourself, it sounds like you're pulling excuses. Yes, Miguel, and we talked about that when it was about Izuku, right? So you're calling back to that. It made the chain moment work. From All Might to Izuku, Izuku to 1A, Uraraka to the public, and the public back to Izuku. Agreed. I think they should show that All for One is looking at the manga. Okay, what next? Showing he is going out of his way to make the mistakes in that manga. Explaining his seemingly random behavior. Oh, Ty, I missed your comment. Alright. Let's see. How does this keep happening? After watching the last My Hero Academia episode, I think killing Curious was a waste. Imagine if she was still alive. Her news articles on the unfortunate nature of the quirks could have turned more people in the war. I agree. But like, if you notice, the villain, the Liberation Front has to be completely neutered because otherwise they're too powerful. I'm only just reading of the chapter, and the guy who wanted Izuku to go Shiketsu is actually insane. Yeah, no, Viz, but you have to appreciate how like the other lady's like, wait, if he goes there, the same thing's going to happen. The problem with that is that they're all connected mentally, similar to the All Might vestige. I just think that it's saying, how long do we intend to be spectators? Works a lot better than Ochako or any of the other heroes saying, how long do you intend to be spectators? Oh no, I agree. Like it's still an issue of optics. I completely agree with that.
More speed.
There it is. No, but I agree that message works a lot better for them. It's just like, overall, I find his message just to be, it hits different. Maybe because it's more direct, but I liked it a lot more than Ochako's version. And again, like that's still respecting the intellectual nature of Ochako's version. Because again, when I look at Ochako's thing, I see just a lot of effort being put in by the author to make sure that speech goes well. Ooh. Oh no. Come on. It's hard. It's hard with the trigger button here on the PS4 controller. Oh good god. This is too much. Will I ever be a Genshin superstar? Maybe not. Oh, there's a new one. Oh, there's a bunch. Let's see. I want to get that little blue one right there, man. Oh, this brings peace to my soul.
You got it.
All right, nice.
Wow.
Nice. Aizen Medaka. Nice. I mean, like, at the end of the day, though, Ochako's words were still kind of misconstrued. And, like, she still had to go to the top of the mountain and just be like, yo. Like, she did talk down to people, like visually. Like, you could, if you wanted to be offended by Ochako, you probably could find a lot of ways to be offended by Ochako. Like, saying stuff like, what, do you think we're not looking at the kid? I mean, mind you, like, there's clear tiers to how much you have to go here. I'm really dreading a switch of POV. I don't want to see the villains just yet. I want to see everyone nursing each other back to health a bit first. I agree with you, Steph. I want to slow down too. Maybe Horikoshi wanted to nerf them so the situation wouldn't be too complicated for the heroes. No, I do think that's a legitimate factor, Miguel. Because he nerfed them for the villain fight, right? Like, it's the the Paranormal Liberation Front gets nerfed in the same way that Momo and Aizawa get nerfed in terms of like how they can't be allowed to be in certain situations. We must demand a bath scene. I would get right behind you with that on Seth. I think Oda's going to do something like at the end, Luffy says we welcome Jinbei and whoever else is becoming one, and Carrot asks to be one, and Luffy says, oh yeah, that'd be cute, Omar. That'd be super cute. See what, Eula? I'm only C0, Zewaf. Can you think of a way of how Toga can get around the isolation period so she can infiltrate? Right now, Yusuke, what we're thinking is just pretty much, if they did a calculation based on Toga's upper limits, all that Toga needs to do is just increase her upper limit. That's like the simplest way of going about it. Just increase the upper limit and then she can get in. I mean, if she figures out a flying quirk, or like she copies someone's flying... Actually, if she were to copy Ochako's quirk and then drop herself in from the air, unless there's sensors watching the sky, Toga should be able to get in. I mean, with like strategic use of Ochako's quirk. She pretty much have to activate it and deactivate it. That'd be the way to go about it. It's what I said. Villains need to be obvious hypocrites because if they make sense, it would be almost impossible for the idealistic side to win so soon without it feeling like an asshole. Agreed. MLA had political, economic, and physical power. Now to take an idea from Patrick from SpongeBob, why don't they take UA and push it somewhere else? I saw your stream uploads in my YouTube Genshin Impact feed. Huh. That's weird because I have like... I guess we talk about it, but it's not... Alright. You can eventually get a Mondstadt specific fishing rod that makes it easier. Same with other regions. Oh, nice. Toga probably going to get by simply because her quirk will last longer, simple like that. Trip, did we ever get an explanation of Zoro's last name? No, not yet. What hockey do you think Sanji? I feel like he has armored and sight. Also, how powerful do you feel Sanji will be if he uses his hands? I don't think Sanji's going to be that powerful if he ever switches to his hands. Just because he's not trained there. I think Sanji probably is going to have all three forms of hockey. He already has the armored version, and he already has color of observation. So he already has those two. His specialty is observation. Sort of. Like, Luffy has better observation now, but... yeah, he's probably going to have all three. And thank you, Viz. Jason said Uraraka on the building is going to look so stupid in the anime. Oh, definitely. The anime is really bad for this. I hope we get a villain POV at least once. I think the best way to do it would be to have a smaller arc after this one wraps up, continuing the UA story, then lead into the pipe dream that is My Villain Academia 2. Yeah, I'd be okay with like maybe a half chapter, one chapter of villain or like the villains. Why do I get the feeling that Izuku will try to find All Might to apologize to him, and then the moment he does, Stain confronts him and calls him out for leaving him behind? I don't know, man. Like, Stain might be thinking, like, you had to do what had to be done at the moment. Like, we don't know. Stain might have a complex interpretation of this. Didn't Toga say that 1 cup of blood equals a day of transformation or something? No, you remember that, right, AN683? Because if that's the case, then she could drink more blood, right? Yeah, pretty much. Like, for this to make sense, they have to know about the 1 cup of blood. Then they have to extrapolate based on the maximum blood a person can have in their body. And then that's how they can calculate the upper floor. The problem is if the rate increases like 1 cup to 2 days, then the equation falls apart because you never know. Like, this girl could have gone to like even 5 days for 1 cup. Speed says Zoro's last name is probably his mother's. I agree. White Disperse said, I think it really depends on how exactly they're isolating people in order to determine if it's Toga. A simple way to take into account the possibility of Toga increasing her duration is to simply ask, how long can Toga stay transformed? Isolate people for 2 to 3 times as long. Yeah, but like I just think it becomes a game of chicken. That's how I feel about it. It becomes a game of chicken. Because like even here you're saying 2 to 3 times, but if Toga can do 5 times as long, then that just throws everything out of the equation. Hey, at the beginning of the series when Ochako saved Izuku, she was on top of a floating piece of robot. How did that even work? Why do things immediately float upwards once she touches them? That's convenience. That's just likely convenience. Because Ochako's power really doesn't make sense if you break it down on its basic definition. It doesn't make sense. For instance, if you cancel the gravitational force on something, that doesn't stop momentum. Your momentum is still going. Like, remember, this is the first law of Newtonian physics. An object in motion will stay in motion. That's just how it goes. That's just like the idea of inertia. Is that the first law of Newtonian physics? I might be like slightly out of. I might be slightly out of the game here, but point is, with inertia, if something was still, it's gonna stay still, and if something was moving, it's gonna keep moving. That's just how it goes when there's no other forces acting on it. So Ochako flat out cancels momentum, and so whenever something's floating upwards, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, assume she adds some thrust from the bottom or something. Let's see. Toga says she grew stronger at blending in to not get caught, so I agree. I can see Toga getting desperate for not getting caught and seeing Izuku to the point her quirk evolves to last longer. Yeah, if we consider like Toga's other abilities here, yeah. I mean, you could always have the UA trader being connected to Toga and letting her in as well. Do you think Zoro will fight Luffy for captain? People always say that's a serious. Oh no, it's not gonna happen. Zoro respects Luffy too much. Maybe Toga could still have some of Kami's blood and walks in as her. Something, I don't know about that one. Sanji's super strong with his hands based on a noodle guy fight back in Water 7. Yeah, no, I know that fight because of the knives, but I don't think he's ever going to incorporate it at this level. Like, at this level, I just don't see him having trained up from there, right? Like, I mean, his hands are strong because of the natural, like, having to do the handstands, and like his whole body got stronger when it came down to the time skip. I just don't think it's going to be that big of a difference. Like, that's my initial, like, thought on it, but that's just because I'm trying to observe, like, the character's gimmick, right? Is it possible for Toga to use twice quirk, then clone herself, then the clones can become multiple different people? Only Ochako knows she can use other people's quirk, but they didn't reveal it. Like, Ty, if I was writing the series, that's how I would do it. Did Toga use Ochako's quirk in front of her? Oof, let me check that real quick. I haven't done a reread of the war, so my memories for the war are really bad. Let's see. Can I get anything there? Toga, Toga, Toga. Toga, Toga, Toga. Oh, yeah, no, there it is. Right, she told her directly. Thank you, Ty. Man, I need to do a reread. I need to do 3 rereads at this point. Anyway, like, if Toga was smart, she'd have the blood from twice, but I don't know if she does. Like, one of the best things here is that Toga doesn't have twice his blood. Yeah, Death Ray's gone. Also, does Yue have some sort of defense for infiltrations coming from the air because it looks quite open? That's what I'm wondering too. I don't think Sanji will have Conqueror Hockey. Fair enough, Chris. Parents are useless in Boku no Hero. Yeah, they kinda. They have more of a presence, but they're civilians. At this point, the only way I can even see All For One attending to take over Shigaraki is if he didn't tell Higantamaki or Dr. Garaki. And even then, it still probably wouldn't believe it. Let's see. Yeah, should have face planted and died after he saved Ochako. Let's see. Only be Zoro that have all 3 hockey with Luffy. Nah, like at that point, like recently, Sanji and Zoro got said to be the wings of the Pirate King, so that's why I'm okay with both of them having it. I want to see where and how they're actually isolating these civilians, because on one hand, keeping 1 or 2 people in a room for days doesn't seem practical for how many are already in. But on the other hand, if there's a huge group of people in the room, what's stopping Toga from just smooshing herself in there? If Dr. Garaki, okay, no, let's see. Then he makes about as much sense as All For One. There's a lot of comments. I think if Hody does evolve her quirk to end up as gravity control reversal, it would be used to explain things like that. I think so too. There's going to be some sort of like hacky thing like Nen. That would be cool. No, she told her that she killed people using her quirk. Yep, I got that. When are we going to see the villain side? And my money is Zoro is a noble. I mean, like, you mean like Wano noble? Wano royalty, sort of like a Daimo's kid. I mean, I can see that. Toga didn't use. She told her. And yeah, guys, thanks for the reminder. Name is misleading and is more than just 0G, but many people's quirks do more than the name alone would imply. Agreed. Literal last thing Garaki said before he was taken away was Shigaraki will bring your hero-saturated society down. Nothing about this guy tells me he is aware of a plan to take to take over Shigaraki's body using a copy of his consciousness. We'll have to see. I mean, like, I agree with you on that one. Trip, do you believe Zoro is right hand, or, well, people say Nami, so what do you believe? Zoro is the right hand. Like, Nami's a navigator. Like, she's the brains. But, like, it's pretty easy. Nami's the brains, Zoro's the right hand, and Sanji's the stomach. That's how I see it. Like, you can't have the Usopp situation and not see Zoro as a big deal here. Here we go. Oh no. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
Steady now. It's the final step.
Nice. Neat. Oh, they're so cute.
That was a tough fight.
Let's see. Wouldn't Ochako not telling anyone about the information be Horikoshi forgetting, or him showing how dumb she is? I'm really hoping that she did tell people about that information, because it'd be stupid to not give the debrief. I think she's competent enough to give the debrief. Like, I believe in Ochako to give away that information. It would definitely be interesting to see if Garaki or Makia choose between Shigi or All for One. That would be interesting. I think Makia would pick All for One. Do you think because at the end of the day, picking Shigaraki, you're still picking All for One because you're picking the vestige. Actually, if you look at it from in terms of amounts, it's Shigaraki and All for One inside of Shigaraki's body, and then real All for One. So if it was a majority rules, he's gonna pick All for One probably. Do you think? Let's see. There's a lot of questions. Do you think Aizawa or Hawks know that Toga has her eyes on Izuku? Aizawa saw how Toga tried to stab Izuku, and Hawks saw Toga fangirling over Izuku in the debriefing room, so I'm questioning it. Aizawa should know, cause like he should know how this girl's psych eval works, and so many people have run into it. So Aizawa should know. I'm not sure about Hawks figuring it out. Who is more waifu for you between Raiden and Sarah? I'm personally a Sarah simp. Guy, I am not sure, Yusuke. Man, like, I don't like the way that Raiden talks, but I'm not sure if I like Sarah at all. So it's still an issue. Like, I don't know, man. I think, I don't know. I legitimately do not know. I have not given it enough thought. I'm more interested in Raiden, because she's got more interesting stuff going on in her story. I mean, I'm all for characters who philosophize about eternity. Yeah, man, I gotta give that thought. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, Lisa's supreme, though. Lisa's always supreme. Like, whatever. I got no problem saying that. Obviously, there's more to hardening than just that, because Izuku and Ida hit him at full speed, and that was somehow better than hitting the ground. Yeah, right? Right? Oh, man. I actually think that Toga can only use a quirk if she loves that person. Poison, I know that theory. I really hope not. Well, like, she could probably use it for twice. But I really hope it's more general, you know? Because I think that'd be cooler. Like, I really hope it's not a psychological thing. Because then it's just, like, you can probably train out of that. But if that's a limitation for now, that'd be alright. Yeah, I don't know if you comment. Do you think Luffy will get Gear 6? Because he probably 100% will get Gear 5. What do you think? I'm not sure about 6. Not sure about that one. Actually, you know what? If he gets Gear 5 now, he kind of needs, like, a final power-up. So maybe Gear 7 even. Because maybe, yeah, 6 or 7 maybe. So Jason's giving White Despair a counter to his idea. If I had to give a counter to the idea, I would point out that Shigaraki is also the name of All for One. So he could just be, well, like, it's possible that when the doctor looks at Shigaraki Tenko, he sees just Shigaraki in general. I mean, it is kind of concerning, like, the whole thing is concerning. But that might be the way of getting around it. Like, the reveal might be, oh, whenever we said Shigaraki, we were always talking about Shigaraki all for one, not Shigaraki the stupid child. But that'd be like, it'd be cheap. But then again, like, I think the author's a cheap guy now. Cause I was thinking about one of the things that White Despair points out about how Shigaraki came back to life with just his willpower, and I can appreciate that and everything, but on paper, I still think that was really cheap, because the story was built in such a way that it was telling readers, hey readers, watch out for this wire because it's on water, and look, Shigaraki is on a puddle of water, right? Like, it's another misdirect, but it's just ultimately kind of cheap. That one's a little bit different than the Kurogiri one, because actually no, like, no matter how you look at the logic, no, the wire itself looked like it had like, that wire was a heavy duty wire. Logically, that wire commits a lot of has a lot of current running through it. Even if it's cut down, it's gonna 100% have a lot of current. Yeah, no, it's cheap. But whatever, let the author do whatever he wants. Anyway, probably not as cheap as the Kurogiri thing now. The most non-quirk evolution related theory I have for why her stuff floats up is because the air, which is still affected by gravity, is pulled underneath the object, forcefully moving it up. I mean, maybe. I also feel like if Getten and Redestro Compress still have stories to tell, that too many villains were locked up after the war because there's inevitably going to be Prison Break 2.0. Fair point. I feel like Compress is probably at a hospital, though. It was pretty stupid of All For One to start shouting things like little brother throughout the fight. It wasn't like All For One was trying to hide anything. Well, the All For One vestige might be more id-driven, though, right? Like, the All For One vestige might not have proper restraint. At the point, I'd rather have more main villains be on the loose like Toga instead of putting away when we know they're not going to be locked away forever. Agreed. Twice had a romantic crush on a 16-year-old. I understand now how Dragon Ball inspired One Piece, but Zoro right hand, Sanji left hand, but belly on the ship. Usopp sniper. I'm not sure if that was intentional. The way it appeared, it might have been the consciousness desires beating through more than him actually trying to take control. Yeah, I think the vestige is more id-driven. It's just because of the things that White Despair points out about the vestige and All For One being in contradiction. It makes more sense if you take that the vestige is All For One's deepest rooted desires. And we talked about this before. But yeah, I really do feel like that the vestige is more of the id coming out. I'd say I like Raiden better than Sarah because Sarah feels like the stereotypical general who doesn't question superiors or has opinions outside of what they have been told. Okay. If Toga tastes Dobby's blood and says it tastes burn and able to use fire, I'm gonna laugh and be a little happy. Me too, man. Jason Thomas, I mean, for crying out loud, when the vestiges take over, it seems literally alter Shigaraki's face to All For One's destroyed scar tissue face. I mean, like, what do you guys think about that? When you see All For One's face behind Shigaraki's face, did you guys take that as a metaphor, a vision, or like actually a physical thing? Because when I saw it, I thought like, well, actually, I don't know, man. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird. I know that many people will probably use the fact that Shigaraki is apparently also All For One's last name, but honestly, I'd find that very unlikely considering that the Doctor has only ever referred to All For One as All For One of the Great All For One. He even compares All For One to Buddha. So personally, I think it would be really weird in that moment alone. He decides to refer to All For One by... Yeah, well, no, I agree, man. I agree. It'd be weird, but you just need like some crazy justifications to make it work. Like, I don't know, man. Like, coming out of One Piece and seeing crazy justifications everywhere, I could see it. I think it'd be as cheap as the other things that we're talking about now. Like, if he comes down and says, like, oh, hey, this entire time when we've been saying Shigaraki, we've been talking as, you know, the next coming of original Shigaraki or something like that. That's 100% cheap. There's no way around it. It's a cheap move. We should be discouraging it. Like, White Despair, at this point, I'm on your side here, man. I'm on your side. I want you to be more correct on this than I am, because like my interpretations have a little bit of doubt built into them. So I'd rather you get closer to yours than I do to get to mine. Because mine are like way more miserable compared to yours. Viz, I'm reading your comment here to explain why she follows the Shogun, but I would almost bet it's also something that follows this character's cliche personality. Yeah. Jason said, I didn't like the idea of reviving because he's filled with hate. Sounds ridiculous. I thought it was the electricity and that it was an act of fate. I like that thought. All for one. Let's see. Trip, who do you want for the crew? I want Yamato and Carrot, in all honesty. I would really like them on the crew. I think they're neat. I don't want like any fleet members. I want proper crew members like Jinbei. So if we get that, I'd be like really happy. Jason said it was a physical manifestation because Maki remarked that he smelt 2 masters. So all for one definitely physically there as well. Oh wait, Jason, do you interpret Higanto Makia's scent as physical? Because Higanto Makia was smelling Shigaraki like from the moment that he was over at the wait, let me make sure. I think Higanto Makia was smelling Shigaraki when he was over at the mansion. So at that point, I was like, there's no way that's like physical smell. But like, definitely something imprinted there. Let me just see if I can find a page for that. Jason. I don't want to give bad information, especially for this part that now I know my memory is legitimately bad. Oh. Nah, yeah, chapter 306. That reporter from that chapter was pretty cool. I liked her. Yeah, like I'm looking at it and like when I don't know. Higanto Makia is like a whole city away at least. I'm looking at Syro City in chapter 286. They're not even at Jakku City yet. Could Higanto Makia physically smell someone from that far away? I'm not sure smell can travel that far. I'm trying to see if I can find another reference to him smelling Higanto. Oh yeah, no, there it is. Chapter 271. Higanto gets up when Shigaraki is revived, and he picks up Master's scent. Yeah, no, man, there's no way that can be physical. There's no way that can be a physical sense of smell. It feels bad how little screen time Oda gives Carrot now. Yeah, it does. It does. Just, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want Kobe in the group, so we get the OG group, Zoro, Luffy, Kobe. Oh, that'd be interesting. Initially, I took it as a metaphor when Shigaraki's face split half and All for One's face underneath. However, as things progress and we see Higanto Makia literally smell All for One, I'm not so sure anymore. My best assumption, well, like I'm questioning the smell thing because the smell thing to me seems like kind of psychic. It doesn't seem purely physical. My base assumption was that All for One was doing everything for himself due to his namesake. I don't find All for One's behavior particularly contradictory, but I get wanting Shigaraki to usurp him. Oh man, Seth. If you don't see it contradictory, like White Despair's got like his entire he's got an entire thesis here for you. Seth, I don't know if you've been here for like the debates, or not debates, but the discussion with White Despair. But from White Despair's point, like the gist of the debate really comes down to pre-Camino All for One's words and post-Camino All for One's words. And White Despair is pointing out Higanto Makia quirk number 4, dog, heightened sense of smell and hearing. Okay, I don't care if it's a heightened sense of smell. I need someone to right now explain to me how the scent of another person halfway, well, not halfway across the country, what, it's like 80 kilometers away, is able to travel from the spot where they are at all the way to where Higanto Makia is in the moment that they are revived. I need someone to explain that to me right now, how this smell can travel into the basement of this really well-guarded mansion I think it's 80 kilometers away. Anyway, point is, I need that explanation because physically there is no molecule in the air that can trigger your scent senses or your smell, your sense of smell. That's my point here. And I'm looking at it again, 260, yeah, 80 kilometers apart. There's no way around it. Smell does not travel 80 kilometers in a second. You know what? Actually, we're pretty much at this point. We're looking at the speed of diffusion in a medium. So how fast does smell travel? Let's ask Reddit. Do 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 do. We find the average velocity of a single air particle is about... Huh. Well, this is actually kind of scary. This might actually be kind of scary. 100 miles per hour. 500 meters per second, or 1,100 miles per hour. For larger molecules, the molecular weight is obviously going to be higher and velocity lower. The molecules are also going to have random walk-through collisions with air-gas molecules, but if you're going to find it's still damn fast. Anecdotally, if you take blue or some other aromatic cheese out of the refrigerator, it takes less than 5 seconds after I unwrap it before I hear my dog sleeping on the second floor jump down from the bed. Huh. That's actually way faster than I thought. Crap. Is the author's science correct here? Shit. Holy crap. Hmm. I need to look at the science a little bit closer here. There's a lot of equations. I don't think I can actually find this. Yeah, I'm still looking. There's a lot of equations and there's a lot of spots here. Okay, so just to let you know, the reason I'm taking a while is because there's many people saying that there's many variables that come into it, of course. I'm just trying to see if I can find just a general idea of how fast gas spreads through air. Okay, so to get the speed of smell, you need temperature, air pressure, and external movement such as wind. There are similar factors in play that affect the precise speeds of light and sound. Differences, okay, let's see. Come on, come on. Give me something. Give me something cool here. Oh! The speed of smell of a fart is faster than the speed of smell of a rose. Okay, so after reading through that incredibly long article, I think I would need to get the speed of I need the speed of the smell of a fart, and I don't really know if I can figure that out. This is gonna have to be extreme science. This is gonna have to be an extreme science video. Anyway, this is ridiculously weirder than I thought it was. So I'm not gonna complain about this anymore. Yeah, all right. Trip, what are your thoughts on One Piece end couples? I think Boa and Luffy is the only one I got. Could you imagine if Toga had a symbiote like Connor's? Can Toga turn to animals if she takes her blood? I think if pushed, she could infiltrate as a bird or something. That'd be cool. I'll pay attention to All For One's words on a reread. Yeah, I think we all have to. It's obvious Trip Higantamaki can smell consciousness. From a science POV, smell is physical. It's particulates that get trapped in your airways. Yeah, like, okay, before reading the thing about the speed of smell, the thing that I thought that Higantomachia was he was interpreting a sensory input as smell. That's what I thought, because that's how I interpreted it. Yeah, that's just, I thought that would be an easy enough mechanism. That's why I was so thrown off at it. When I read a French translation of Ida saying to Mineta that it wasn't their turn yet, it makes me hope that it says this in the official translation. I also hope it meaning that we will get the class talking to Izuku more. Yeah, we're still missing Aoyama and Hagakure's words here. I really want to see their conversation with them, whether it be about the quirk or how they feel about Izuku. Loa, Boa, Doromomo, Sister, Sanji, Pudding. Oh, that'd be nice. Chopper and Carrot. No, 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 not Chopper and Carrot. Chopper and the reindeer girl. It's probably a psychic connection. Not everything needs to be scientifically explainable. People in real life can sense weird things, sometimes too unexpectedly. Yeah, I agree with Seth. I was going more for psychic connection. Depends on wind speed, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Wait, did you? You're agreeing with me about All for One? Is this a dream? Am I drunk? Have I gone insane, died, and gone to heaven? No, I like. White Despair, you've always had very good points for why you believe the things you do. And I agree with why you believe the things you do. Maybe Yantamachia is... A shark can pick up blood from 2 miles away. Machia is just an advanced animal. Maybe G. Machia is just dumb. And this quirk was given to Machia and explained as a smell. Since I have the page for Yantamachia... Oh, I might as well share the info. He has given 6 extra quirks, which means he has 7 in total, including his original one. Hey, Chip, because of my new job, I get home really late. Oh! We've been live for, maybe an hour or so. Weird how he can spell Shigaraki not once he's out of tube, but once he revives. Yeah, that's because of that's the moment he became All for One, I guess. Also, Machia's smell sense is based on a quirk, so it won't necessarily obey the laws of physics perfectly. Yeah, but what I'm saying more is, like, you can't smell something that isn't in your nose, right? You can't smell particulates that aren't in your nose. That's what I was kind of trying to point out there. That's why I go more towards it being psychic. And, like, if you point out the other bit here that AN683 pointed out, it is weird that he only detected Shigaraki when Shigaraki revived, which points more towards a psychic connection. Endurance, his original quirk, makes him a stamina beast. Pain blocker, can't feel pain. Let's see. I've heard dogs can smell cancer even. Oh yeah, they can. But I read that the dogs smell cancer because cancer gives off a pretty unique it gives off a unique molecule in your sweat. There's another thing. You can look up. There's a lady, I think, that can smell Alzheimer's. And like for her, it's pretty much like she could detect a particular molecule. Let me see if I can Google this girl, because this was actually pretty cool. Oh, Parkinson's. She can smell Parkinson's. So her name is Joy Milne, and pretty much she could smell Parkinson's, and this led to them figuring out that Parkinson's gives off a unique molecule. And she can also smell Parkinson's before it's been diagnosed as well. So just to like to give you a few more bits of information about this girl or lady, some people at the University of Manchester, they found like 10 compounds linked to Parkinson's thanks to knowing that there's a smell that it gives off. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Some people got like really cool things going on, man. It's neat. But at the end of the day, this all happens because the biomarker gets into your nose. If it can't get into your airway, like smell doesn't happen. A gigantification grows giant. Let's see. Well, I don't know, Leela. Well, we're kind of in the middle of a lot of talking. What's up with girl from village? Robin, Aokiji, Brooke lonely, Jinbei lonely, or some fishman lady. Let's see. 5. Energy saver. Functions on very small amounts of nutrition and hydration. Doesn't need much sleep either. I'm a big fan of Robin Luffy. Oh, I used to be a fan of Robin. Wait, something happened. Leela! Oh my gosh, Leela, thank you so much. Holy crap, Leela. Oh, that makes things easier. Thank you, Leela. Oh my gosh. Did you write a message as well? Fierce gains. His muscles are remarkably hard and tough. Leela, it sucks. It sucks because we made fun of Dobby before you showed up. Energy saver functions on very small amounts. Wait, let me just say, because I haven't been here, keep making content. You give me life, Leela. Thank you for being so kind and always showing up when you can. I hope that your current job is going well. What else can I say? I really can only hope you a happy life. Now, I can't give Leela all the attention because I still have to respect the rest of the guys here. But Leela's always like Leela's one of the big MVPs of the stream, along with a lot of the frequent talkers. So Lita said before she left, I just want to say I don't understand why Izuku had to go back to UA. Couldn't he just live at All Might's house or Hawks? Wouldn't a pro hero home have amazing security? You know, I never thought about that, Leela. I can only imagine that no, it doesn't have amazing security. That's all I can imagine. Not to the level that UA would have, because UA had money. 7 was Mole, a transformation quirk that allows him to dig under the ground. Features include long claws, spines on his back that slide through earth more easily, and visor to shield his face. Makia won't do so well with quirks that require training or brain power, so he was stuffed full of simplistic enhancements instead. 2 and 3 only require a little training to use. I pray to Dobby gets cosmetics because his burns are getting worse. Yeah, that's not going to happen, man. Didn't Makia smell Shigi when his container broke and not before? Yes. Wait, let me get you the exact thing. He broke it. Sorry. He smelled Shigaraki at... Okay, so let me look at it. Let me just make sure here. Because my understanding was that he smelled him after he revived. So let me just log back in. I need to find the exact chapter here, man. But again, I'll put the asterisk. I think this is the way I remember it, but I'm an idiot right now. So let's keep that in mind. So I'm going back to 271. Okay, so let me look at 272. No, like the way it reads, Jason, it looks like Higanto Makia picks him up the moment that Shigaraki is, that the moment he revives. Because when you go to 271 and you look at the final page, and then you look at 272, the first thing you see on 272 is Shigaraki with his eyes open. So it looks to me like my read is that Higanto Makia only smells Shigaraki at the moment that he wakes up. Because I'm going back to 270 now, and at 270 Shigaraki was still dead, or Shigaraki was still on the ground, and he had been on the ground for a little while longer. And the other, you know what, the issue here, Jason, is that from narrative everything changes, or everything implies that Higanto Makia picked up on Shigaraki at the same moment that Izuku did. Because in 270, Izuku notices that Shigaraki is a thing right when Shigaraki has his giant spasm. So the chapters are built to make you think that Higanto Makia only picks up Shigaraki after the spasm itself. Like, I don't know if there's another misdirect happening here. Oh, Black Fox, great. But Makia always has them activated to some extent. It's a combination that automatically enhances the potential one. That might be due to Makia command function with his abilities. Let's see. All for One gave Makia number 7 specifically to allow him to lie dormant, follow his master's orders. The giant dug underground deep in the mountains when All for One was crippled by All Might, and most of his flunkies were rounded up by authorities. He employed the doctor and Makia to collect quirks that he'd use to repair himself. And we did see Makia collecting quirks. We saw that later. When we have the Mina flashback, we're seeing him collect one of the quirks that All for One uses against All Might during Kamino. Somebody say the Danger Sense is 5th Izuku useful quirk. Oh yeah, I think it's like the most useful quirk. Did you see Horikoshi last 3 images? The latest one is Izuku laying next to Animal Girl in the grass. What? Holy crap, really? She's the final pairing. This guy has fallen in love with her. Unless the pro hero is a doomsday prepper, I doubt security. I love my new job. Like I said, I work at a psychiatric. It's so exciting. I need to change teaching becoming mundane. Oh, okay, Leela. Yeah, as long as you went to that job happily, then great. I was really worried that you got sacked or something, Leela, or got mistreated. But yeah, okay, if that was all you, good. Remember All Might's super intricate giant skyscraper tower he had at the agency? I wonder what became of that place. I don't know. Until stated otherwise, my personal headcanon is that All for One is physically manifesting simply, because I find it hilarious if All for One's big master plan was to gain a new healthy body. But as soon as he fully takes over the body, it transforms right into his old crippled body. That'd be funny. It'd be cool if All Might went there if he was still operating. If they do free Higanto, then could they just massacre the UA underground system? I feel like they could if he has Mole. I think All Might home has to have amazing security because we haven't seen the home. Maybe he has secret All Might cave or something. He has a private jet or a Batmobile, so why not? That'd be cool. In Vigilantes, we see his base operations that seems fairly fortified. Also, I found it interesting how in there we saw Small Might had the whole Clark Kent thing going on because he worked at his own agency and would disappear when All Might needed to be there. Yes, that was pretty funny. Do you guys like the pacing of the current arc? Leela asked, because I don't. I feel like Hero Academia spends too much time on things that aren't important or exciting. We're pretty divided, Leela. The majority of us, we want things to slow down because we want to see the people talking more. Like Seth wants the Bakugo moment to be longer and is happy that the Ochako moment was long enough. And for me, I just want everything to be longer in general. Also in that, Mineta was laying next to Izuku, looking right at him. That's cool. That's gonna feed that's 100% feeding the shippers. Let me go see Horikoshi though. I need to see these images. I live in Virginia. I'm hoping that Chris Chan is sent to my hospital. Leela, if you get to work with that person, I can only hope that you're able to get through to them. Okay, I'm just looking at the images. Oh, baby Toga's cute. That's a cute baby Toga. Oh, I guess she's wearing that weird outfit. But gotta remember, Toga's a crazy. Gotta keep that in mind. Is it possible for Gigantomachia's sense of smell relying on quantum teleportation? Meaning teleportation of information of the smell rather than transportation of physical smell itself. If we want to go full on science, yeah, I think that'd be totally fine. Because like we can just play entanglement, right? If we say that there's some entanglement occurring, and that the smell in the air that's around Gigantomachia only triggers when Shigaraki awakens as All for One, then that's different, right? Like the other way of making the Gigantomachia physical smell thing work is if you say that Shigaraki's smell was already inside of the building because he had spent time there, and then the moment that Shigaraki wakes up, a quantum effect happens where the smell molecules that were once part of Shigaraki, because they're entangled with him, they trigger with the new change, and then you have quantum transfer of information that happens, and then it changes the molecule state to be one that he can smell Shigaraki properly. Like if we go down that particular route and we say the smell molecules that were already inside of the building switched, then I think that works. And for the record, quantum exchange of information already happens. People have been able to transfer messages through quantum mechanics at about 70% accuracy back in 2016. That's the last time I checked the topic. So in 2016 they could do that. They probably got up to like 80% now if they're already at 70% information transfer. For those that don't know, quantum information transfer pretty much relies on entanglement, and what pretty much happens is like the basis of it is that if an atom goes up in one particular place, another atom not connected to it by any physical means goes down or like has a visible change. That's what it means to be entangled there. So that's the kind of stuff that these people are studying when it comes to quantum entanglement. So like if you go quantum entanglement, it all works. That's such a pretty image of them, man. I feel like Mineta's looking at the big girl too, but that's such a pretty image of them. Like, she is so cool. I don't care, man. I don't care. Horikoshi has to go all the way and just flat out say that this is the girl that Izuku's going to end up with. This is just the reality of the situation. I don't care anymore. To be honest, I don't really care about it, but Trip, a true One Piece fan. I'm fine with this slow down pace after all the fights Izuku had in these recent chapters. We need more Izuku and 1A interaction. Our boy has only been doing the Batman skit for about 3 months for us. Yeah, you know me. I need more slice of life. Horikoshi commented that he made Eri way too small in the image. She looks like a literal doll. Would she be Mineta's height? But that's okay. Like this is a nice little sketch. I don't need it to be picture perfect in all honesty. Oh, you know what? I'm just noticing that Eri's head is nestled between this girl's chest. Well, that's kind of adorable. That's kind of adorable. How long has Maki been around exactly? He's also got to have that long life quirk. I don't know. And you know what they say about crazy. Where can I find the image? I want to see it. Kayla, it's on Horikoshi's Twitter, so just type in Twitter Horikoshi. Just do a Google search and then you'll find it. Actually, I think I'm allowed to give you guys links. I think. Let me know if you see this link. Shigaraki baby don't speak health and B type from army recruitment. Kayla, it's only been a few days and then a few days since Izuku left UA. I think she meant our time, right? Oh yeah, she said it right here. 3 months for our time. I'm back. When I left, you were smelling farts. You were searching and now you're talking about quantum physics. Oh yeah, you know how it goes, Sam. On the farts thing, we have gotten nowhere. We have gotten nowhere on the speed of a fart. I can search it. What is the speed of a fart? Because, okay, we did find out some incredible information that a smell could... Wait. Oh, no, wait. There is actually just flat out information about it. A fart can travel 10 feet per second, 6 miles per hour. $80 kilometers is 49 miles. If we assume that Shigaraki, his smell travels at the speed of a fart, then who would have thought? Like, the way to do this was just flat out to search BBC. 6.8 miles per hour. Assuming optimal wind conditions and no real bad displacement of the molecules, assuming optimal wind conditions, Shigaraki's fart gets to Gigantomachia's nose in 7 hours. I feel like his body odor must be the same thing here as well. Alright, this is good. This is good. We got some real scientific information now. Thanks. Thanks, Sam. We got this figured out because you gave me the idea. Deku can't smash that big fox girl. She won't feel anything. Leela, we don't bring up that kind of science. Oh, cool. Thank you, Leela, for saying that you got the link. And we're talking about the fox. Let's see. Skelly loves HM one for all. Giant Fox Woman and unnamed episode 1 Deku fanboy have actual names with how relevant they become. Yeah, I hope so. I wonder how strong Fox Girl physically is. I wonder. You know when Izuku and Uraka have a child while they're... are they going to float? I don't know. Hopefully not. Actually, Eri is taller than Mineta. Eri is 110 while Mineta is 108. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, she is really small comparatively. Nice. Nice. Let's get some cool stuff. Oh, I need to get more of these things. Oh, this is cool. Oh. Just heard my phone go off. Oh. I want to get this. This is cool. Okay, gotta go do some fishing. I need to get these fish. Let's see. I'm hoping to see the class have another sports festival or an obstacle course. Imagine a lot of people wanting to team up with Izuku now. That would be different from how they were against him. Now, for me, Kayla, I really want to see. I want to see team-based tactics. Like I want to see like Team Izuku versus Team Bakugo. That's been like my personal fantasy. If we get in a spin-off material, I'd be pretty happy with that as well. I just want to see these two teams go at it. Yeah, so Animal Girl has more physical close moments than Ochako. This is actually strange to me since she's the main heroine and this brand new character. What is Horikoshi pulling? I really think he drew this character, and it's like he just loved her. He just thought like, wow, I really outdid myself with this one, and I think he just wants to involve her now in every possible opportunity because it's like, yeah, this is cool. Mind you, I think she's older than Izuku, but I don't care. It'd be funny if she's younger, but nah, I don't care. I would love to see her more, and I would love to see the adult years where she and Izuku are totally cool. Yeah, author, make it happen. I think this is one of his best ideas so far. I'm so basic. I'm so basic. I just see like a nice girl, and I'm just thinking like, yeah, Izuku. Yeah, this is a good girl. This is a good lady. She does not deserve to be discriminated against. That is completely unfair. You can be her hero, Izuku. You can be her total awesome hero. These are the moments when you really have to appreciate harem mangas and everything. Because at least in harem mangas, it's like, alright, this is a cool girl. I'm pretty excited to see this girl be cool. Ah, harem manga. The ultimate wish fulfillment. Let's see. I now have the head kind of Higanto is not smelling people. He is smelling their farts. Excellent, Sam. Thank you. That was entirely your contribution. Anyone here think about Suyu with that long tongue of hers? Nope. I try not to think about that. Thanks. Horikoshi's making backups. He's learning. Uraraka loves Izuku, brah. But imagine having danger sense as a quirk while having kids. God, that'd be scary. I also want to see Class 1A, see Izuku floating for the first time. Bakugo and Todoroki don't count, of course. It's silly, but I want to see it. Yeah, that'd be really neat if they see all of his quirks. Does the Fox Girl have like a size quirk? Last time we saw her, she was kind of tall. I'm pretty sure she just changed her height. Oh, I'm not sure. She's still pretty tall here. Like I'm looking at the hug page, and she's still pretty tall. I'm not sure, Poison. I really hope that Giant Lady sticks around. The panels where Izuku and she interact are so goddamn wholesome. Agreed. I know everyone has noticed the My Hero Academia school focus, then work, study, then villains show up, or like 5 seconds, I need more villains, don't you? Yeah, Leela, we feel ya. I think this is right now I do think this is the villains portion, so I feel like it would be cool if we have like 5 chapters of Slice of Life. Just like 5 chapters of recovery. Like if we go into the author's style of doing setup though, we might get 2 more chapters of setup. Because the author sometimes does rule of 3 when he's doing setup chapters. So right now, if I was to say like maybe look at 3 chapters of something, but like the thing is, if you look at it, he did 3 chapters of talking to the civilians. So if we're observing rule of 3's 3 chapters has already happened, which hopefully means I don't know, man. I'd like 2 more chapters of setup because that'll be slow and we get to see more of the kids. I don't know. I don't know who I don't like more, furries or Uraraka. Omar, you don't like furries. Because furries are going to be eternal. Uraraka will end after Hero Academia ends. He saw how popular she was with the readers and learning from his Tsuyu moment. So like girlfriend? Wait, girlfriend's like that? Fanfiction exists for a reason. I don't read fanfiction. That's lesser. I need it from the author's mouth. I don't care about the interpretations of other people. I need the author. Horikoshi's most cute, popular characters are a fox and a frog. What does that say about him? And more importantly, what does that say about us? It says that we're people of culture. That's what it says. We're cultured. Horikoshi's the problem. Don't forget the bunny. The bunny. What are you referring to, XL Plus? I can't call back what you're referring to. Now we just need to find out. Oh wait, you like Deku Fox more than Deku Froppy? Right now, Leela, you know how I am, Leela. It's kind of changes depending on the week. It depends on who has the most cute moments in the most recent time. Right now, Fox Girl is getting a lot. Before Fox Girl, it was Fuyumi. And I'm sure I'll go back to Fuyumi eventually. Now we just need to find out that she's a college, a bit older but not odd, or around Fuyumi's age. Yeah, exactly. Maki is now an assassin. She's taller than Izuku even on her knees. What I find funny is Horikoshi puts detail into her butt compared to other female characters. You know it's special if Izuku noticed it. And yeah, going back to Black Fox, yeah, like that is the issue with Suyu. She's not really doing much right now. They said before that adults have ways to become heroes outside of schooling, right? That'd be a cool spin-off, but more importantly, bring Gentle back for this. I think they did, because there's ways to get your hero license. Izuku needs to reunite with his one true love, the hospital bed. I mean, girlfriend, and what you said about Harem. Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha, Rhino Trainer. Am I the only one who thinks that Class A has whack powers? Seiro, Shoji, Tailman, Invisible Girl, straight trash. No, Leela, nah, man, because we make the comparisons to 1B a lot. He's talking about Mirko. Oh, okay, that too, Bunny, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't think about Mirko that much. That's more of a Matthew thing. I love seeing Ida holding Izuku's hand again. It's adorable, but I'm worried that Ida is treating Izuku as a lost child. Also love seeing Koda and Mineta following Izuku. Too adorable. I don't think I have a problem with it. Just because Izuku kind of needs the help right now. And like Izuku might be in a position where he doesn't know how to move forward. So I think Ida's just concerned and he's just helping Izuku along. I think that's all it is. I think Ida's just trying to be like a big brother, just helping Izuku along when Izuku's at his weakest. I don't think there's anything too wrong with that, Kayla, just because like Izuku's in a vulnerable period and Izuku might be too stuck crying and not moving forward, right? So I think that's what it is. A tree, a frog, and a fox walk into a bar. Before Fox Girl, it was Nagant. Yeah. Vigilantes, cough, cough. Hori and Deku are buttmen. Let's see. Seto can be cool like every 100 chapters. Horikoshi responds to us. Oh, I see you're a minor culture as well. Yeah. When I think about it, Class 1B has quirks that are even more useful, and you wouldn't consider it as trash. I mean, there's a few quirks that are kind of, eh. I can't think of any of them right now. Let's see. Well, the one guy that has spinny parts. That's kind of like, that's probably the closest to Ojiro. There's the guy that makes scythes. On paper, Pony has a pretty lame quirk, but she makes it work. Now that quirk, as awkward as that quirk was, she made it work. Which is why you can really respect Pony. Hori clearly is a naval Chad. Huh. Alright. She's gonna go. I wonder what's gonna happen to her when she gets out. I feel like the heroes are going to try and turn her. Class 1B doesn't have any sensor type quirks like Jiro and Shoji. Class 1B has Setsuna. And Setsuna, if you want to talk about like Setsuna, I think did she use her abilities to scout out areas before? But like Setsuna is a scout. Setsuna pretty much can do extreme scouting similar to Shoji, because she can look at things from a bird's eye point of view, which is something that Shoji can't easily replicate. So it's pretty much Setsuna, and it looks like Twin Impact. He has some gear that lets him track where things are, so he has sort of sensory, but he has it from his gear. Let's see, anyone else? Yes, Setsuna probably can feel things through vibrations with her body. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just doing my commission. I have to do my commission before I go to sleep. Woo! Alright. Air Prism sucks. Yep. I know which one you're talking about. Class 1B doesn't have it. Got that. And she did just completely drop her rhetoric because Izuku's cool, or is she still going to be anti-everyone? I think she's going to give it a chance. Because, like, Hawks also wants to get through to her. So I think she'll give it a chance. Setsuna can scout but can be seen. The Beast from X-Men. The Beast guy, I think, can scout because of his sense of smell. Oh, yeah. He can scout. He can, yeah. He can scout well enough that he can smell Suyu's farts from a distance and know that there's 3 Suyus. Yeah, this is pretty much it, guys. Whenever Hero Academia characters are smelling people, we have to assume they're smelling something that travels at the speed of a fart. It's rude though. That's rude. I don't like saying that out loud. I'm just realizing I don't like saying fart out loud. Ugh. Okay. whatevs. But it's funny.
Speed.
It's a funny thought. Let's see. First Stain and Genzo Nanagan. Deku's gonna save himself a fan club of villains. Yeah. Beast Guy, let's see. I love Koda so much, he reminds me of children I have taught. Babies that have been hurt, and it's up to a true education to reach them. Eddie is usually my teacher pet kid. They get on my nerves. I feel... But you know, Eddie doesn't have a family. Like, Eddie probably just wants a teacher to replace her family that she doesn't have. That's pretty unfortunate. Poor Eddie. All she... Like, her only crime has been existing. But yeah, no, man, Leela. Like, I had a moment in that review video where I kind of teared up too, because like when I was thinking about Coda, like I had flashbacks to the kids that I used to teach too, and it's like, oh shit, no, don't cry, don't cry, don't think of those kids. Oh no, it's happening again. Oh no, no, don't cry, Chip. Oh no, you were making a joke. This is stupid. Don't cry. All right, no, I got it under control. I just had to think of Ochako. I got it figured out. All right, I'm good. I'm back.
Crush.
I'm 100% in. Ah, oh, damn it. I'm weak. I talked myself into it. How weak can you get? Damn it. All right, let's see. Why can I not give it? Oh, it's because it's yeah, there you go. Place supplies. Woo! All right, cool. Do 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 do. I need Kota and Eddie to interact now. They're in the same place. Yeah, that'd be good. Omar said you can just say butt burp. Yeah, Omar, butt burps. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, Omar, that makes me feel a lot better, actually. Yeah, man, thanks. Man, Omar, you're a genius. All right, yeah. Butt burps all the way. And you know, it is kind of weird that I have such an issue with saying fart out loud, but it's a really ugly word. There's not many ugly words in language, but like that one's a bit of an ugly word. Eddie would call her teacher mom on accident, just go with it. Vietnam flashbacks. Yes. In the future when they get attacked, Koda's gonna be the one to protect her. Oh, that'd be neat. Yo, I can imagine it. Koda and Eddie are running down a hallway after leaving their Izuku fan club meeting. And someone shows up and Koda's gonna be like, no, I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna be a hero just like Izuku. Then right when Koda's about to get attacked, Mirio shows up out of nowhere and punches someone into the skylight. I feel you about Koda getting choked. I love... Oh yeah, I feel that. Oh, and Mega, yeah, man. I was like an assistant kind of teacher kind of thing. I just helped out with math homework and English homework and IT stuff for an after-school program. It was for at-risk kids. Yeah, that's just what I did. So that was like I think 2 or 3 years of my life. Ochako is now Trip's emotional suppressor like Ainz has one. Yes. I feel like Koda and Eddie interaction is so obvious a thing, but I don't know. You know what? For that image of the people lying down in the grass, it would have been complete had Kota been next to the fox girl as well. So it would have been Eddie, Kota, Izuku, and Mineta. It would have been really cute, really adorable. I would have gone for it. Think of your lie in April Trip. To your eternity, episode 5 of Silent Voice. What are you... No! Screw you, man! Screw you! No, Black Fox, no! All I think about now with Izuku and Animal Girl is Death by Snoo Snoo. Okay, Ty. At least you are, you're cultured. Imagine Nagant coming back to help Izuku in Class 1A, asking who she is, and Hawks be like, yeah, she's an ex-commissioned assassin that was the first hired gun for Midoriya. Just picture the reactions, and just be like, hey, but it's okay, because we're all in this together now. Woo! Hirokoshi's facial expression really draw you in, and he does children so well, really captures their innocence. Agreed, Seth, agreed. Facial expressions have been really on point. Maybe Rei is mistaken by Eddie to be her mom, and Rei just goes with it. Oh, that'd be cute. You can say Pedro, you can say Pedro and pretend you are Mexican. Trip, you made the mistake of revealing your weakness to your audience. Oh, it's okay. I've revealed my weakness to you guys multiple times. Like the Tripl-L is pretty established on that point. I'm a sucker for kids. Or sorry, I'm a sucker for the kid. Not every kid, because some kids are annoying. Like some kids really like just annoy me to all head. Like some kids, I'd actually think like, I think I need to beat you up. But aside from that, nah, man. Like kids that really try their best, and they don't have like the best advantages in life. Those kids, when they try their best and they actually get something good coming to them, yeah, that always gets me. The innocence of children always gets me. Like I think Speed and I talked about this like a few days ago, but or like I think a week or two ago. But yeah, the older you get, or the older I got, and the older Speed got, the more sentimental we got. Unfortunately, like heck, even right now I'm like fighting a little the itch of tears. Whew. Man, Leela, I can't support you all the way, Leela. It sounds different in Spanish, I swear. Problem adult or less cute and twice the trouble. Yeah, yeah. I heard Genshin commentary earlier. It really feels like there should have been a whole other Archon quest before the final fight. Wait, Seth. What do you mean, Seth? I know this is a popular idea, but Eddie is broken. I think All For One should kill her for narrative purposes. I don't. Well, I feel like All For One should kill her for narrative purposes if he's afraid of her. But like, I don't think Eddie should die. I don't want Eddie to die. I think it was crazy how All For One didn't take or get a copy of Overhaul Quirk. He didn't. He could fully repair his body. Wouldn't need Shigaraki's body. Let's see. This Trip loves the, this is Trip loves the kids. No. You gotta be careful with how you say that. I can see the dynamic between Koda and Eri now. She's a sweet girl with no full sense of boundaries yet, and he's the easily flustered tsundere. Wait, what when children are innocent? What when children are innocent? No, Meg, like you don't understand, man. There are kids, there are like some really like far gone children that when you're dealing with them, like some kids legitimately, they need. Okay, this is I don't know. Look, this is gonna be like a controversial like statement, but some kids, especially nowadays when there's a shortage of male teachers, some kids need. I'm trying to be very careful here. Some kids need positive male role models, and I'm speaking mostly about boys because boys learn differently than girls. Some kids need positive male role models, and some kids, you know what? I think you need to be ready to not beat them up, but maybe spar with them. Some kids need that physical activity. Some kids need to get whooped. Some kids need to get they need to be humbled. And when I say humbled, I mean like even basic things that you could do at like a karate dojo, or if you're doing taekwondo, or you're doing any of the other combat sports that a kid could do. Like heck, even judo. There's a bunch of different ones that you can put a kid in, and they can have some kind of physicality to their life. And mind you, like this is also coming from someone that grew up fighting like every other day, so maybe I value it a little bit differently. But some kids need those kind of role models, and some kids are just they're like little asses because they don't like some just. There's a lot of different problems going into like today's children, and it makes it kind of hard for those that don't know, because I talk about it often, but I have friends who work in education. And some of them work as education assistants for the special needs room, and the special need rooms and the troubled child rooms are just there. You see a lot of really erratic and very varied behavior, and it just makes for. You'd be surprised how many teachers disregard problem boys, and you'd be surprised how many simple things you can do to get on the same page as a problem child and become their like friend. And I say friend in quotations because like when you're an adult, things get a little bit more complicated in that you can't really be the friend that particular child needs outside of school, because not everyone has that energy. And it's just anyway, point of the matter is, like, this is a giant conversation about kids that need the most help, and the surprising reality is that schools are falling short, and that people are ultimately not going to talk about these kind of problems anymore. The problems developing in the current schools between budget cuts, not understanding mental deviancy, and the lack of male teachers and the lack of acknowledging that different kids learn differently. Like heck, even within the girls, there's still girls that don't learn don't learn in a general manner that other girls learn. Um, it's unfortunate. It's ultimately an unfortunate situation. Uh, so there's my long-winded answer. Like that answer just has like a lot of baggage for me, just because of situations and my experience with it. Seth, could you give me like bullet points on like just little things you don't feel were addressed? Maybe Eddie shouldn't die, but All for One must take her quirk. I would agree with that. I rewatched the animated miniseries Over the Garden Wall, and seeing my favorite little kid in fiction on death's door almost put me in tears. Have you seen it, Trip? I don't think I have. Toga or even Dobby are examples of non-innocent kids. Most of the times, it's the parent, guardian, and/or teacher's fault. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, there are some kids that are born with a particular mental deviancy that, when coupled with the fact that the parent wasn't able to properly care for it, it got exaggerated to a point where it's now um, a problem. Like I know a few people who they live in fear of a couple of the problem children that they have, just because like these are people that have spent like the last couple of years working with different children, but sometimes one shows up that just kind of scares them, and it's unfortunate you have to be in a position where you're scared of a child. But in now, like nowadays, it's not that hard to actually do a lot of damage to someone. So it's kind of scary. Like I know back in I was about to say the name of the island, but like back in the Caribbean, like there's a lot of stories of kids running screwdrivers into a teacher's eye or something like that. Gotta be gotta be gotta be careful. Poison Tree says some kids need to release their emotional aggravation by doing physical activity. That's why sports are encouraged. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like there was a I don't think this is a private. I don't think this is a privacy violation, because it's just you can just assume that whenever I tell you stories about kids, just assume I'm lying for clout or something. Um, Nah, like I was thinking, like there was this one story about this one boy from a few months ago, or maybe a year ago, or something like that, where he would get really angry, and the kids in the school would know that he had that trigger disorder. I forget what it was called, but it's like he was just easily triggered by the other kids, and they would goad him on and then get him in trouble when he reacted, which pretty, this is kids being kids, but pretty rough. They'd trigger him, and then he went from punching those kids to like recently, or whenever the story was from, he got to the point where he learned to go and punch trees. And the thing here was like the teacher of the class would criticize him for punching the tree, but then the people that were actually his handlers in the situation were like, no, this is really good. Because at that point, it's like the kid's not going to be able to hold back his temper. What was valuable was that he realized he shouldn't be hitting people. And so, like, who cares if the tree gets damaged at this particular point in time? Like, this is progress for the kid. I'm just speaking about that because, like, emotional aggression, yeah, like, the kid let out the anger, the tree took it, and then give him 5 minutes and he was back to, like, a regulated state. At the end of the day, it's like the teachers aren't going to teach them how to do it any other way. So take what you can get when you're underpaid and trying to do your best with these kids. Chris says, I see your point with the kids. If you put a kid against something they can't beat at an early age, they will see that they aren't the center of the world. Plus, it can give them a goal to aspire to. Yeah, it really depends, like, also how you, like, hand the beat down. If you do the beat down in a really creative way, like, that means, like, you beat them down and then you help them back up and you tell them where they went wrong and tell them how to get better. And then, like, also, like, have them use their body and just show them, like, hey, yeah, it's okay if you fight in this particular way, in this particular environment. If you let them do that, they're gonna probably have a nicer life. Like, it's different for every kid, but like when I fought a lot, I enjoyed it. I didn't feel the need to have to fight at school or anything like that. Mind you, I was never a violent person at school, but I was pretty violent in general, like after school, with the fights and whatever. Mind you, I grew up into a person that doesn't like getting hit, but that's mostly because I got hit a lot, for being a dumb. That's not that I didn't enjoy it. It was all part of the fight. You gotta appreciate the hits. Takes 7 hours for his scent to reach him, but he's been away from him for 7 hours. Does that mean there's now a trail leading right to him or something like that? Oh, Kenneth, you're talking about the smell issue. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of physics that we can play the game here. The school board is standing up for the parents and students. Wait, you seen the Project Veritas video and finding that crazy teacher? I heard about it, sorry, but I didn't watch it. The school board is standing up for the parents and the students. That's good. I remember when I was teaching kids in boxing or MMA, they would always challenge me, and some at age 15, like, let's just say I taught them never underestimate people who are older and more experienced. Good. Yeah, no, I think that's really cool. I think that's really collaborative. I think that's a wonderful thing to do. Yeah, man. I probably, like, if I could, I'd probably do, like, some sparring club again with kids again. All for one trying to kill Eddie. And, like, the reason I'd probably be a little bit carefuler now just because I've told you guys before, but I've taken hits to the head and I'm kind of scared. I don't want to take any more hits to the head just because of how knocked out I was on the last few. So I'd probably go to safer martial arts, like probably jiu-jitsu when I have the money for it or something like that. Probably take up some weapon arts too. It'd have to be fencing if I ever do it. All for one trying to or archery. Archery would be cool too. All for one trying to kill Eri. That is the last draw. Izuku kills him. Trying to harm an innocent child is a quick way to lose any hope for All for One. I agree. Chris, you forget that kid thing from where. What if that crushes their confidence? Nah, like I get what you're saying, Mega. That's why I think I mentioned it earlier. But it depends on the way you do it. Like if you do it in an environment where you're telling the kid that he can get to your level, kids will bounce back from that pretty quick. Because, like, especially early on, a lot of kids are getting used to what they can do with their body. And if they start pulling off incredible moves, like backflips or doing some really incredible kicks, they're gonna be in on it. Mind you, if you have a kid that breaks down from it, like that's why you have to also be kind of careful with how you do it. Leela, so for those that don't know, Leela was, see ya, random trainer. For those that don't know, Leela was a teacher before she was at a psychiatric hospital, so she's been more involved in teaching recently. I don't think we have any other teachers with us. But yeah, so Leela said, our babies need more positive male role models. You're right, these babies are so arrogant, they need to be humbled but not broken. Like how Todoroki and Bakugo had to reach the kids. Yeah. I think it's worth pointing out that usually I think teachers probably understand the difference between being humbled and being broken down. Like it's a slight different. There's a difference to it. There's a way to humble a kid without breaking them, and like ultimately, like you humble a kid by telling them like you can do better, man. Like you 100% can reach bigger heights than I ever could. Let's see. Chris says school is mainly built for girls' method of learning over boys' method of learning. On average, girls seem to be better at sitting and absorbing info. The exact opposite is the norm for boys. Yeah, like, you know, I can't talk about any statistics. I haven't done any research on the area, Chris, but I know for the Caribbean there are giant generations of boys that have just been lost to time. Like back in my day, a lot of my classes, like there would be like maybe 7 boys to 20 girls, and this was for like the higher, like the set classes. So in the Caribbean we do the set system. I don't know if America does that as well, but it pretty much goes from set 1 to 4, and you're in the higher set dependent on how smart you are, how well you do. So set 1 gets the harder material. Set 4 is, I don't know what set 4 is like in all honesty. Anyway, yeah, set 4 is dominated by boys. Set 1 is dominated by girls. That's just how it went in the Caribbean. It was funny though when our school started doing more vocational stuff. So in high school we start doing vocational courses like electrician courses and mechanic courses. We do that early on, and those classes are dominated by the boys, and they are much more interested in that. That was like one of the places that those guys could really excel. Leela said, All For One is pretty cautious with the quirk he steals. Yeah, it is kind of weird how cautious he is. Like, people want to think that All For One's this really proactive guy, but if you think about it, All For One is not proactive at all. All For One is the kind of person that wait and sees, if you notice. Like, the big example is Shirakumo. All For One wants Aizawa, but he takes Shirakumo when Shirakumo dies. The man was very careful for whatever reason. Lita said, Trip, my specialty is reaching troubled kids, mostly boys, but the girls end up loving me too. I always thought that was weird. you're probably a really good female role model. White Despair is gone. Let's see. Going through. Hey guys, not sticking around because spoilers. 2.1 was really fast paced for me, with us barely getting anything out of the characters outside of Yai Meiko. A huge contrast to 2.0, where we spent time with Ayaka and Toma. Kokomi Saragaro felt like they were out to dry. Okay. Gotcha, Terry. One issue in education is that boys are treated like defective girls. God, that's a horrible way of talking about it, but God, that makes it... Oof. That hits hard. That's dumb.
Add Astra at
Not happy about that. Since you haven't watched, that teacher got fired already. Oh, nice. It feels like the peace talks were supposed to be a bigger thing, but I don't think they were even mentioned in the actual story. Okay. I also feel like a certain someone got off way too easy, but I admit I'm used to that because gacha games want you to roll for people. Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying, Seth. I understand what type of issues you're having here. I can't relate to those type of kids, honestly. Let's see, my specialty is 5th to 8th grade. I'm very strict yet loving. I will tell a child, I get it, you're pissed off. I'm pissed off too, but it's for reasons. Firstly, don't mind learning, just some teachers, but I do like cooking more, and food wars make it worse. Most rich kids, not all of them, but most of them, they're just, those ones probably could use being dropped into like a third world country for a few weeks. But for the others, and for what? Because you're having a bad day? You think I don't have a bad day? Little one, you gotta learn to leave the pain and stress at the door. I'll try. Well, yeah, they also have to learn how to properly deal with it. Because like sometimes you can't help that it's happening. I'll try to make it the last time I bring it up, but BL also discuss the SmackDown perspective in regards to the sport. They say Japan players do well in Japan, and then once they go see the world, they get so crushed that they end up giving up on becoming the best. So BL make the teens play against mid 20-year-old pro players to show even if they are good, they have a long way to go. Okay, nice. All for One could have easily stole half cold, half ice, softening electricity creation, and many more. I agree. The end result, for creation, I don't think he can use creation properly. I think only Momo can use creation well, because that actually took a lot of work for Momo. The end result was that they believe they have a long way to go, but that reaching the level of a world chess player wasn't impossible. And yes, Speed, Blue Lock. I realized it was the one that Chris was talking about. But yeah, man. This whole situation with the future generations is concerning. Oh, you were planning to drop out going rogue? Man, I feel that, man. There was a point where I kind of considered like, do I want to drop out? Because this is just taking, it's just so much money to pay for school. But no, didn't drop out. Stuck through it. The funny thing is, these middle schoolers are way bigger than me, but I can't stop calling them little one, and they like it. That's okay. You gotta put them in their place. I think some kids like being reminded that they're kids. Yeah, at the end of the day, some kids want to know that someone's there to have their back if something goes wrong. But yeah, man, I don't know. With this whole COVID thing, I do wonder about the next generation. I feel like the next generation, not counting Omar, I feel like the next generation just looks kind of soft. They don't look like they don't look very capable. And mind you, like, I don't think I'm particularly capable, but I know I can build a house. So there's that. But yeah, no, man, I'm concerned about this next little bit here because of how COVID has disrupted things. I'm just wondering how these kids are going to come out, because I definitely don't want to live by I don't want to live by policies dictated by COVID scarred kids. Mind you, I'm sure some policies would be pretty cool, like, you know, maybe actual pandemic prevention, but I definitely don't want to deal with policy made by COVID scar. That's just going to be kind of insane. I was inspired by GTO. I'm assuming he's saying great teacher Onizuka or whatever his name is. Next generation won't be soft in my watch. I considered dropping out if I didn't pass my last semester crop because I was flat broke. Yeah, Speed. I understand that 100%. I totally understand that, man. Like that you're speaking to the choir on that one. God. Sar said it's going to hurt them. When it comes forward thinking, I think Nezu is smarter than All for One. I think Nezu has probably a killer plan, is waiting for the one linchpin to fall before he says anything. Kenneth, I agree with you. I think, especially with the whole Shigaraki thing, I think Nezu is 100% forward thinking, man. No way around it. 100%. Totally agreed. Let's see. What do I need to do here? I want to go fishing. Okay, so Ty wants me to check out over the garden wall. Got it, Ty. I'll write that one down, but I'm probably not going to get to it till I get through all the Ip Man movies. That's probably how that's going to go. Check out, let's see. I was doing great in Forms 1 3 and get new teachers and left with 2 passes. Okay, I used to teach middle school on Native American reservation, and I felt like I failed them, but they looked up my real name on Facebook, and they thanked me for everything. Aww. That's nice. All gen ruined by spoiled evil rich kids. Yeah. Not all of them. Some of them are nice. Some of them can be nice. But it's hard to be nice when you don't have a lot of strife in your life and you don't really know how to connect with people. Not trying to be mean. Just thinking back to like some of my experiences with these people. But Leela, you were on a Native American reservation. What was that like, Leela? Did you talk to any of the elders? Like, what was their, like, if you don't mind my asking, like, how did they integrate you pretty well? Were you pretty well accepted? Were there any kind of weird practices that you observed on the reservation? Oh yeah, we're gonna get all those little fishies. This is gonna be the best. Alright guys, I'm gonna fish and then I'm gonna call it a day and we're gonna go to sleep. Can't wait until you see Ip Man 3. There's a famous fighter that fight against Ip Man. Oh yeah guys, probably gonna call in 5 minutes. I didn't realize it was almost midnight. My apologies for keeping you guys, but we had a really good conversation this time. Did not expect we would get a good conversation. I think it only happened because Leela was here. So thanks for being here, Leela. Yeah, fish. Awesome. I personally hated trying to teach stuff to people, especially as a tutor. I want to try doing like tutoring for high school age. That might be like a nice little side gig to do along with YouTube and all that other stuff. But yeah, man. I haven't done tutoring for anyone outside of elementary, personally. It's probably going to be super required nowadays too because of all this stuff going on. This makes me wish I could go out and fish. God, it's been so long. Just little moments where you like start kind of hoping, or like, you know, you start kind of missing the island life. It's usually when it comes to fishing. I'm 100% writing a story about fishing. It's just gonna be a nice little stress relief.
Yeah, you nearly got him.
All right, cool. Let's get that last little guy over there, and then we'll call it. We'll start calling it up. You know, this reminds me of betta fish. I used back with my old roommates. We used to have an aquaponics setup with some little goldfish. Yeah, we were able to grow some onions. It was pretty neat. Yeah, I enjoy fishing. And I enjoy fish. If Lita wasn't here, we would still be talking about farts. Possibly, Sam. Possibly. Wow. That really brought it back in perspective. Lila said that they were she was extremely accepted at the Navajo reservation, actually because the way I look as a black woman, they thought I was half and half. Oh, okay, nice. I was wondering about that, Lila. I was wondering if that was going to play a factor. What do you think of dubs from stuff that other people make? You mean like fan dubs? They're alright. Let's say the fighter literally end other fighters' career. Okay. Thanks, Black Fox. I went to their homes on the reservation. I showed them that their kids can go to college for free. They were so amazed. Okay, not sure where I heard it, but I remember hearing strong men make good times. Good times make weak men make bad times make strong men. Oh yeah, yeah, that's like the pro like that's the saying to talk about what happens during times of peace and war. I gone fish a couple of times and I never caught a fish. Oh, Sam, that sucks. I went to a casino with one of the elders and they thought I was their daughter. My hair was light brown at the time and they thought it was natural. Okay. I'm an introvert, so school was frustrating and tiring. Now I know where my depression. Oh, going rogue, man. That's sad to hear. Transported to another world and became the most powerful fisherman. Actually, Mark, like I have two ideas for two light novels. I'm currently doing another one, so I can't get to them right now. But one of them is, yeah, I think it was transported to another world to fill out a fishing catalog, and then the other one was the strongest Kraken killer was transported to another world. That one was just a gimmick. That's a gimmick. It's about a guy who spent his whole life trying to kill Krakens after having his family eaten by one Kraken, and he got sent to another world where they're being invaded by space Krakens. And I thought, like, yeah, that one's funny. I'll have to see if I can get that one to work on Amazon, see if I can get some money for it, but we'll have to see. Leela said, I'm brown with Asian eyes, like Brandy. I hate my eyes." Oh, that's interesting, Leela. Because, like, the Caribbean has a lot of Asian influence. Like, my family, I think 5 generations ago, there's Chinese somewhere in there. It's just weird with the Caribbean. Joe, did you see the trailer for the new Pokemon Evolution series? I saw that it was out, but I haven't seen the trailer itself. I'll probably go watch it afterward. Viz, Viz, if you're still there, I realized that we spent the whole time talking and we didn't get to do the Shonen and Chill. So let's just delay it till Tuesday because I'm pretty wiped, man. I want to get paid to sleep. Going rogue? Me too, bro. Me too. Me too, man. Me too. By the way, my female students used to say I look like a brat doll. Wow. I gotta say, Leila, like, I didn't like my eyes too because my eyes kind of droop a little bit when I'm like neutral. They just droop, and I think they still droop on the. I think they still droop on videos and all that. But like when I started doing YouTube videos, I just got tired of seeing my eyes drooping all the time. So like I forcefully try to keep them more open than they should be, and I think now I keep them. I keep them more open, which makes me a lot happier. I just never liked my drooping eyes, and that's partly because of Asian genetics. Yeah, Mega, I did reply to you, man. Yeah, what do you think of dubs from stuff that other people make, like the fan dubs? Like, I thought fan dubs are alright. But yeah, Mega, I did answer that. Ty said, I miss fishing, so peaceful, but have to look out for gators and water moccasins because, you know, Louisiana. Yeah, Ty, shit, man. I'm here, that's alright. I completely forgot about, so Tuesday should do fine. Thanks, man. I was stuck if my job was to sleep. Even if I pass out from exhaustion, I always get up 5-6 hours later. Oh, Leela, thank you. Oh, thanks, Leela. I think you're a wonderful person, too. Even though I can't really see a picture of you, but I assume you're a wonderful lady, too. I assume everyone is handsome. But for some reason, I think Skelly is super handsome. Like, that pile of bones has to be super handsome. Mixed with everything, so I have Chinese eyes and it's small. But I don't hate it because sleeping in class was easier. Oh, interesting. And going rogue, you're Trinidadian. You know Spanish, right? Yeah, Mega. I understand Spanish. I can talk a little bit of Spanish, but my Spanish is really broken up now. Guys, let's start saying the goodnights. Skelly says it's the voice. Yeah, it is, Skell. It's the voice and the accent. Like, Skelly just, like, he must be, like, really good looking. That's what I just keep telling myself. Alright, guys. I'm going to call it there and start saying the goodnights. If you have any last minute thoughts, let me know. Speaking of look, Strip, I kind of think you look similar to Masoko X, and when I say that, I get a weird sense of deja vu. That's really nice. You know, I gotta tell you guys, like, when I'm talking to more, I don't want to say white people, but it's white people. When I'm talking to more white people, when I'm talking to, like, the more, when I'm talking to the more, I am trying to be so careful here, but they are really mean to me. When I'm talking to the more North American people, whenever they talk about what I look like, and they look at my pictures, they're either gonna call me a drug smuggler. I look either Mexican, a drug smuggler, or I look like I'm in the cartel, or I look like I just got out of jail. I don't know why. That's, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, that's cool. That's kind of cool. It's nice that I'm intimidating, I guess, but it's like, really, that's not really fair. But whatever. That's life. All right. So gotcha, Viz. So good night to Ty. Oh, Mega Green Kirby said, oof. You talking about the dubs, right? Mega Green Kirby. That's what we're talking about. Speed said good night. Matt said good night. Mark said good night. And so, yeah, good night to you guys. Good night to Sar, Viz. Ah, no, man, it's cold. It's cold. It's cold, Leela. It's cold. And then, like, I keep the beard on in case I ever go back home. I need to, like, just shave it all off. That way people don't recognize me. Then good night to John, going rogue. Oh, good night to Seth. Thanks for being here, Seth. Good night to Speed. Good night to AN683, Chris, Sam, and good luck, Sam. Let's see. I wanted to ask if you check and tell me what you think about Second Report Pure Engagement ending. I found this, so I wanted to ask your opinion on the lyrics. Oh, okay. Let me Google it, man, and I'll let you know when I watch it. But gotcha, Maggie Kirby. Okay, Leela. I hope that your future husband is not my doppelganger, because that'd be kind of scary. But okay, before I go, I saw one of the most messed up comments somebody said about Mommy from Rent a Girlfriend latest chapter. Lets people bother you when you're scary. Yeah, the dub. Okay, he said he would isekai Mammy to our world and kick her as a baby. Crazy. Gotcha. Alright, cool. So good night to Kayla, good night to Black Fox, good night to Mary and Kirby, good night to Speed, and I agree, Speed. Thank you all for being here. You guys all rock, and till next time. Ending the stream in 5, 4, 3, 2,